Hi. This is On Imagination with, it's On Imagination. I had a massive, zoom out where I just stepped way back from everything yesterday. And I went, oh, I understand now. And I can see it. We've been living science fiction for a while. The science fiction is real. And not one of us has even blinked and gone, yeah, that's right. We're living in science fiction and we're not getting it. And now we're about to go live into fantasy. And I'm going. So I talked to a couple people and I went over my work and they didn't flinch. They're like, yeah. So let me try and explain this to you. I'm a scientist. I'm not a spiritualist. I'm not a religious person. Fuck that shit. I'm a scientist. I am the biggest doubting Thomas in the world. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And this is one of those things where people don't get it. I'm sitting here going, oh my God, the magic is real. And I've got all these woo-woo spiritualists without any logic going, yeah, that's right, magic is real. Okay, great. But magic is real. Here's the fucking science, dipshit. And they can't even weave a proper spell. And I'm sitting here going, I found Arcana. Fuck you all. I'm going to make Skyrim. So I'm breaking it all down. I'm looking at the philosophy. And, this makes so much more sense. I've had psychics come to me now for like 2-3 years. And I know it's their sales pitch. And at the same time, I'm like, don't. You're a fucking hack. And this is something that people have not yet figured out. And God, the whole fucking thing is just mind blowing. I'm just like, whoa. And I get these, we're changelings. We are literally changelings. And I'm starting to break down the logical code of, all the different evolutional chains, which one is going to lead us to where, which one is the purest, most true. And that's, I'm going to say it again. When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be truth. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. So I'm looking at that going, and I'm sitting here running it all through, following the logical code. And I'm going, the more I do this code, the more I'm going toward all signs point to, yes, we're magic, the real fucking shit. But the question is, at what ethical age should a person be allowed these kind of powers? And I'm looking at them going, well, I did not start to tap into my magical powers until I was at the 44th. Well, Douglas and I answered that. He said 42. And I went, see, I said 42, dude. But then I went, no, it's not 42. 42 is when you figure it out. 44 is when you get it. And I went, oh, see, he fucked up. So I fucked up because we both fucked up. Because everyone fucks up when you get to 42, where you're like, oh, it's 42. 42 is when you get the magic. No, 42 is when you can see the magic. 44 is when you get the magic, which is why it's the 44th. So here I am now at the 45th, and I'm going, ooh. So you have to be 44 years old ethically in order to even touch this shit. And there's only one way through. You have to go inside philosophy. Not even philosophers go inside philosophy. So we've got all these really idiots going, oh, look at that. I do this. No, you don't. So I've decided, and I'm sitting here now going, I could teach manifestation. I could teach the class. I could teach people how to count it down, what deja vu is. Now, this is a class. And I'm going, do I really want to do this? Well, yeah, I want to do it. But I want to do it with the people who actually have earned it and who are actually I know it. I'm going to only do it with people in my group. That's it. I'm only doing it with people in my group. I'm not going to do it. Yeah. So now I'm thinking about things And this is where we had a lot of problems. We had science. See, we have a lot of data to work with here. We have a lot of wonderful data. I'm sitting here looking at the island of Dr. Moreau going, oh, you remember that time when we did the island of Dr. Moreau? I remember that. Do you remember when we were doing stupid shit like ligers? And I'm sitting here going, interesting. We're sitting here cloning sheep without asking the ethical question on whether or not we should. Interesting. Why should I give you the power of making dragons? When I'm looking at puppy mills, why the fuck should I give you the power of making dragons? When I see you dipshits doing things like ligers, why the fuck should I give you Arcana? So now I'm looking at it going, fascinating. Fascinating. I am Dr. X. I am creating X-Men. Yes. See, I'm sitting here going, okay, so I got my Valkyrie Lightworkers. Here's the thing with my Valkyrie Lightworkers. They're X-Men. And then I had this massive step back and I just went, wait a minute. Just give me a minute. I know I'm a witch. I've known that for a long time. I mean, a real one, the one. So I'm looking at this going, okay, all right. I know I'm a witch. I've known since I was 4. You should see the stuff on my back. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm a witch. And I'm looking at this going, fascinating. Now what do I do? Like I went through a period of my life where I told people I'm just a witch. And they were like, oh, that makes sense. I literally had people who did this. That makes sense. Yes, I know. It makes sense. It makes sense if you just think of me as I'm a witch. But the problem is then people are like, you get people who like, oh, no. You're a witch too, dumbass. You just got to stop being stupid to get to your genius. And that's it. You got to stop being stupid to get to your genius. That's going to be like my lifeline here. You want to be a genius? Stop being stupid. Because you got a genius inside of you. You're just too stupid to get your genius out. So, and that's it. Your stupid literally covers up your genius. And I had it. Oh, good God, did I have it. And I had to learn how to use magical powers to remove my stupid so I can get my genius out. So I did. I got my genius out. And I can see a person's potential genius and they're stupid at the same time. And I'm going, oh, you're not mentally ill. You're just stupid. That's like the best part of all of this. You're not mentally ill. You're just stupid. You're not mentally ill. You're just stupid. You're so stupid that you've mistaken stupid for mental illness. And the stupid idiots who are stupid are the ones who told you that. So that when they saw your genius, they went, oh my God, you're stupid. And they called you insane and diagnosed you with mental illness. ADHD is genius. Suppressed genius because you're stupid. If you're walking around with ADHD, I'm going to tell you right now, you have too much stupid in you. That's what it is. It is suppressed genius because you have dumbed yourself down to the point beyond being able to access your genius. So I'm going to be talking a lot about how stupid we all were. Well, I was, you are. And then how to get rid of your stupid. Because your stupid is what's preventing you from being a genius. So that's definitely going to be one of my biggest conversations is how stupid you are. Yep. Because that is exactly the first lesson. It's if you're not going to humble. So I'm sitting here now going, all right. God, this is amazing. Imagination is the very first key ingredient. Logic is the next one. Love, same thing. I'm just going to put love and logic together from now on because they're the same fucking thing. So imagination, love, logic. Well, the physics is there whether or not you know about it. But it'll help you to know about it. I mean, how easy do you want this to be? I'm literally putting together the ingredients for magic. I'm so happy. Oh, I have such great joy in me right now. I'm so happy. I need a minute. What's funny is the star. I'm looking at things like the star going, that's bullshit. Every time I look at the star, I'm like, no, I'm not. No, it's so fucking wrong. Oh, it's driving me crazy. Oh, you guys have really fucked up magic. There's only 3 elements. There's only 3 elements. Any dipshit out there telling you there's 5 is stupid. There's only 3. There is water, and there is air, and there is earth. There's only 3 elements. Fire is a chemical reaction. It is not an element. So basically, here's how it works. I want you to think of this. I want you to have a bowl, okay? You have a bowl. And you have water, air, and earth in the bowl, okay? Now you can boil that. That's fire. You can stir it. You can cook it. So this is an action. Fire is an action, okay? Or you can leave it alone. So fire is the action. Water, air, and earth is the element. This is so fucking weird. I'm giving witch lessons. This is so fucking weird. Weird. Now, a lot of people are going to sit there and claim spirit and ethos, but that's not a fucking element. Now, that might be and is another ingredient, but it's not an element. You've got a lot to learn. So I'm looking at all of this and I'm going, all right. And I have people coming into my space and then they arrive with their chakra stones and I'm like, you realize you just brought coloring books and crayons to witches school, right? If you're showing up with chakra stones and chakras, coloring books, you look like a kindergartner who just arrived at, like, what are you doing? Why did you bring a coloring book to college? Like, what are you doing? So I'll be talking to people about it and they want to know my opinion of the chakra stones and everything. And I'm like, it's coloring book. Like why? Like, that doesn't even make sense. And this is why it doesn't make sense. You're in the material plane. Magic belongs to the abstract. You're not in the abstract. So now you're drawing what you think is over here, but it's not. It's in the material plane. It's the material plane trying to understand the abstract. So long as you're in the material plane, you're not going to get this. You're not going to understand it because you're in the material plane. That's where everything is literal. You've been closed off. You're not coming in. You want to come in, you're going to have to give up that bullshit. So now you've got a lot of spiritualists who are at the door of the abstract who aren't passing through the door of the abstract. They'll sit there for 20 years with their fucking coloring books and stones, but they won't come into the abstract. Now, when you're in the sixth perspective, you can start manifesting. But they're not manifesting. You're manifesting when you do it 100% of the time, all the time, and I mean instantly. So unless you're doing that, you're not manifesting. Stop lying to yourself. I remember this one person, he manifested one time and it took 3 months to get one manifestation and he never did it again. He could not do it again. And he wrote a book on how great he was at manifesting. And I went, you did it one time in 3 months? You don't know a damn thing about manifestation. If you don't have 100% consistency, then no, you can't manifest. How many wishes have you made and how many of them have come true? Because that's your manifestation skill. That is literally how good you manifest. Is if you don't have 100% accuracy. Now I'm going to tell you right now, everyone has 100% accuracy, but it's all about how long it takes. So are you manifesting something that takes forever to get to you? Now I'm going to tell you right now, the speed in which something gets to you is based off of the purity of your logical code. If something is not logically purified, you're going to have a roadblock. It's going to hit a catch-22 and it's going to just blackball it. It's not going to go anywhere. So then you have people who have to work out their logical code to get their manifestations to come back to them. Your manifestations, your visions, same thing, are pieces of your present in the future coming to you. Pieces of the present in your future coming to you. I'm going to say that so many times. Your visions and manifestations are pieces of your present in the future coming toward you because you are in the wrong place. You are in the present. Why are you in the present? You're in the wrong place. You need to be in the future. Future comes first. Future comes first. Hello? Future comes first. How stupid you are is going to determine your relativity to the future. I live in my future. I am at my future. This is the point of conception. The past happens second for me. Future happens first. Past, present happens second. Present is the point of materialization. So point of conception, point of materialization. They should be right beside each other. But if your future point of conception is happening first, oh, you have some serious problems. So people sit there and tell me they're healed. What happens first, present or future? The present happens first. No, you're not healed. You're fucked up. And that's it. That's going to be my ultimate question. Which happens first, present or future? If you tell me present, then you are not okay. If you are not experiencing your future first, you're fucked up. That is how backwards you are. You are on the wrong side of the mirror. You aren't even on the right side of the mirror. You want to get on the right side of the mirror? Go through philosophy. The doorway to philosophy is music theory, physics, and logic. That is the only door through. There is nothing else. Music, music theory, physics, and logic. That is the door of the abstract. That is the only way in. That is the door. That is the door. That is the door. I have been asking the question, which came first? Norwegian dragons or Japanese dragons? I have been asking that question for a very long time. I have the answer. Finally. Finally. Norwegian. Norwegian dragons came first. Fascinating. Fascinating. God, that was really fucking bothering me. That makes so much more sense. The Vikings went down to Alexandria. The Asian trade routes carried it over there. That makes sense. I couldn't figure it out. Like, were they bringing it over here via the trade routes, or did the Norwegians bring it down there? And I couldn't figure that out. And I finally figured it out. I'm like, all right, Norwegian dragons came first. God, that really fucking bothered me. I wanted to know if dragons had feathers. I gotta look it up now. It's really fucking bothering me. Everything, yeah. Japanese dragons. Oh, they're not always covered in feathers. Interesting. $680. Yeah. Yep, I know exactly what's going on in the world at that point. Nidhogg. Why am I even questioning Nidhogg? Of course. Arobos. I feel like an idiot. Do I feel like an idiot? I didn't even think of Nidhogg. I feel stupid. I should have known better. Nidhogg. Yes. Norwegian dragons came first. Nidhogg. I need a minute. Nidhogg. Nidhogg is the world dragon. It is the first dragon. It is the dragon. It is the dragon. In Norwegian myth, there is a world dragon that wraps itself around Yggdrasil. And Nidhogg is the name of the dragon. It's wrapped itself around Yggdrasil. Now it makes sense. And I'm like, yep, all right. I need to get back into my studying Norse mythology. I miss it so much. Norse and Celt are my when I got to that, I looked at Greek mythology and went, kids play. You want to know real myth, Norwegian myth is no, that stuff is really, really amazing. So the whole world suddenly makes so much sense. And now I understand why they're so scared of witches. I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure out why they were so scared of witches. I couldn't understand why. I'm like, why did they get rid of astrology? Why did they get rid of? And now I understand why. Basically, so once upon a time, the Muggles were really scared of the magical people, and they were so scared of the magical people that they decided to kill all the magical people. But all the magical people were wise and ethical, and really fucking smart. And the muggles, who were really, really stupid because they hadn't bothered studying this stuff, realized it makes so much more sense. I've been trying to figure this out for so long. I couldn't figure out why Rome declared war on the educational system. Now, I know about the prophecy. And so there was basically, it was common. God, this makes so much more sense now. All of this makes sense. This makes so much more sense. Why he had astrology. He didn't even make it to Arcana. Divination, this is making so much more sense. And I could not figure it out. Magic is real. Now, a bunch of woo-woo spiritualists saying that is garbage. We know that, but they're right. They're right. They're idiots. They're uneducated about it, but they're right. The problem is they are so uneducated and they are so stupid about how they present themselves that anyone who actually could take them seriously doesn't. So, and this is something that I actually, this is a big deal. This is a big deal. This is actually a really good subject to talk about because I ran into this problem. I sat down with some spiritualists and I said, doing coloring books of chakras and chakra stones, where you guys talk about magic to a bunch of muggles, is not going to help anybody. If you want to change the world, you really need to stop doing that kind of shit. Now, some of them came back and they went, but that's who we are. And I'm going, authenticity. They big point. Let's take a step back from that. Let's talk about that. Is it inauthentic? You're right. It is. So here you go. So then I went, okay, absolutely valid. It's authentic. You're a 5-year-old playing with crayons. So we've got 5-year-olds playing with crayons who are the spokesperson for the magical realm. And I'm going, great. That's not going to sell the muggles. No one's going to believe that. So I sure as fuck don't. I don't subscribe to that bullshit. Not at all. I went through a period where I did. And then, because I know how to learn, I looked at it and went, no, there's more here. I got the same feeling I got with Buddhism, where I went, there's more here. Actually, this came first. I got to the spirituality and I went, no, there's more here. And if I hold on to the spirituality, I'm going to stunt my growth. So I threw it all away because it was a distraction. The chakra stones, the tarot cards, they're a distraction. You're missing the fucking point. So the more you dabble with all this spiritual garbage, you're not actually looking at the main lesson. It's like I've given you a coloring book and you're scribbling away with your crayons. And you're so focused on the crayons and the colors and the picture that you're not even looking at the picture. And had you looked at the picture, you would realize it would say, if you want to know how to use magic, put the fucking crayon down and open the door. But you're just scribbling away. And not one of you. And here's the thing. I'm the one who went, there's a door here. That's it right there. There is a message embedded inside of all spirituality, and all of you dumb fucks have missed it. All of you. Because none of you have zoomed out with mental diversification and looked at it. And there's a message. And the message is, put the dumb fuck crayons down and open the door. But no one's opening the door. You're comparing pretty pictures and you're talking about what crayons you're going to color with today and your favorite type of glitter. And not one of you has opened the door. And I'm looking at this going, what are you doing? So there's the door. I went through the door. Now, when I went through the door, I had an EMF pulse go over my head that threw my ass and another girl's ass to the ground. Did that happen to you? I would love to hear anyone who said, yeah, that happened to me. Because I don't know if I'm special or if that's the thing that happens. So I need to find somebody who actually has had that happen. Because it's one of two things. And this is my current logical conundrum. It's a conundrum. One, I'm special. It's only going to happen to me. Or B, your crown is not open yet. Because that's what happened when mine opened. When mine opened, I got an EMF pulse above my head and it slammed me and this other girl to the ground. So either that happens when your crown chakra opens and your crown's not open, or I'm special. And I'm going to be special until someone can come up and say to me, that happened to me. Aha! But the minute it does, I'm calling bullshit on all of you. Because the moment someone comes to me and tell me that they had an EMF pulse that went off over their head, that threw them to the ground, then I can point to them and said, that was your 7th crown chakra opening for real. So I'm literally just sitting here now waiting for somebody to tell me that they had experienced an EMF pulse go over their head when a crown chakra opened on them at the 7th, which means all of you are full of shit. Or I'm special, and I don't know which one I'm at. I won't know until you go through triadic healing. Triadic healing will do that to you if it happens to you. I've got 2 people right now in triadic healing. 1 person starting, so I've got 3 people now. And the person who's inside of it, she's explaining it to me, and I'm like, all right, you're unlocking the power. You're unlocking it. She's going through it, and it's fucking fast. It's fucking fast. And it was so funny because one of the things she's saying is she's like, I can feel, I discovered this. She's like, I mean, it was accident, but it wasn't accident. Like, yeah, you're in it. You're in it. She's in it. But you have to be inside philosophy. And the only way to get inside philosophy is, well, triadic healing. Triadic healing. The other way is music theory, physics, logic. Now, so some people might already be inside triadic healing with music theory, physics, logic. But here's the problem. The majority of people who are musicians don't study logic or physics. The majority of people who study physics, some of them study music, but they don't study logic. And I have yet to meet any other logician in the world. I'm sure there are other logicians in the world, but I have not yet met one. I have never spoken to another logician. That would be interesting. Oh, that would be really interesting. No, if there were any other logicians in the world, then they would have this. No, I've already done the math. I've done, not only have I done the math, I've also done the searches, and I have not found anyone who is as advanced in logic as I am. So it's a cocktail where it unlocks your mind in a certain way. Now, Japan figured out a long time ago what the cocktail was, which is why so many of their children study math, physics, and music, because they figured it out. Which is why Juilliard has it, is because they're going, music, physics, logic. So it's so funny because Juilliard has actually figured out philosophy. Juilliard's figured out philosophy. The rest of the world hasn't. Juilliard did. And I'm going, there you go. This is funny. So it's really, really interesting to see how all the, like I can start to see the reality. And now I'm going, oh, I see what's going on. Oh, I see what's going on now. It is this massive, like, full comprehension of everything. And I'm processing it still. I'm still processing it, and I'm just blown away. I'm blown away because magic is logical. Like, I remember a few months ago when I manifested, I want magic to be real. And the universe at that time, she said to me, you know the law. It has to be logical. So if magic is logical, I can have it. Yes. I'm going to find the logic to magic. I'm going to find it. Magic is real. I know it is. I can feel it in my bones. I can feel it in my bones. But if I can't prove it, I can't believe it. Belief. Belief is a really hard subject. Belief is one that I have so much to say on belief. I say things sometimes and it gets misinterpreted, and I hate it when that happens. I can feel it, and I went, I fucked it up. I have one job: to be understood. Belief is this thing that sits outside of the cognitive core. That's something I've noticed. is I got the cognitive core. It all works. It all functions. And I'm looking at this thing going, what the fuck is that? What is this? And I'm walking around. I can see faith. I can see logic, but I got belief now. I'm going, what the fuck is this shit? And the universe just goes, you will see in due time, which is universe talk for in the right perspective. Right. In the right perspective, I will understand this. The right perspective to understand what belief is 45. You are not going to understand belief until you get to the 45th level of consciousness. And I'm going, all right, that's it right there. All right, so belief comes in at the 45th level of consciousness, which is also equivalent to 3 rounds of the 12 plus the 9 perspective expansions. I am in the all of I. I am in the all of I. I understand now. Most of you are in the I of I. And then there is the you of I. And then the they of I. And it goes first person point of view, third person point of view. And then we, second person point of view. See, that was the other thing, is it goes 1, 3, 2. And I'm going 1, 3, 2. 1, 3, 2. 1, 3, 2. That's the correct math, 1, 3, 2. And I'm going, why is the order of operations 1, 3, 2? Because you have 1, and then it disintegrates into 2. This is integrated mathematics. In integrated mathematics, it's 1 and then 3 and then 2 because the 2 break off. Yeah. So you have 1 and 1, and then 1 and 1 come together and create a new 1, and then 1 becomes 3, and then 1 breaks off from 2. And then it starts again with 1 plus 1 integrates into 1. So it's, yeah, so it's 1, 3, 2. That's it, 1, 3, 2, 1. That is so logical. There is nothing more logical than 1, 3, 2, 1. It's extraordinary. I love integrated mathematics. I've been trying to figure that out for a while. 1, 3, 2, 1. And when I did the I of I, the you of I, the they of I went, all right, it's the I of I. Everything's in first person point of view. And then when it's the you of I, and I'm going, wait a minute, this is third person point of view. Why isn't this 1, 2, 3? No, because that's the wrong order. It doesn't even make sense. 1, 2, 3 does not make sense. Oh, that explains why we fucked up romance. Oh, now romance and love makes sense. Now it makes sense. I see. Okay. So the reason why we're all getting divorces is because we are using the wrong math for our marriages. You cannot do a marriage based off of mathematics. You have to have integrated mathematics in order to do romance properly. So we've been romancing with the wrong mathematics. That's why it doesn't work. It amazes me, the human psychology. It sits there. There's like this thing in our brains going, this does not mathematically make sense. So our subconscious mind computes it until it doesn't make sense, and then it breaks it, which is why the divorce rate is up. It's really quite simple. If something is illogical, the subconscious mind will tear it apart. Every time. Every time. The lifeline of something being illogical for a subconscious mind is about 20 years. It cannot handle it for 20 years. That is its absolute utmost breaking point. The more logical a person is, 15 years, the more intolerant they are to illogic. Everyone is intolerant to logic. If you have a high tolerance to illogic, you are stupid. In fact, your tolerance to logic is literally in ratio to how stupid you are. That's the pain you feel, is illogic. That's what cognitive dissonance is, all of it. Every time you feel bad, it's because it's illogic. It is literally illogical for me to not love my partner. I proved that. I love that. I went, oh, it's illogical for me to love you. Well, or to me not to love you. Well, that explains why every time I try and convince myself otherwise, I'm in deep pain. So I need to stop trying to convince myself that I don't love you, because that is not logical to do so. All right. And here's the worst part. This is the absolute worst part of all of my work. Star Trek has so many errors now in it, it's intolerable to me. I'm going, oh shit. Now Spock isn't even logical. That was a real, that made me so mad. When I'm sitting here listening to McCoy for the first time with Spock, and I'm going, oh, god damn it, McCoy was right the whole goddamn time. Spock was wrong. Spock's logic is wrong. I proved Spock's logic wrong, which is not hard because it's really Gene Roddenberry's. But Gene Roddenberry was really fucking logical because he invented science fiction before science fiction was science fiction. Like his brain, he manifested Bill. Oh, why do I always say that? Steve Jobs. He manifested Steve Jobs. And I'm going, dude, Gene Roddenberry, you totally manifested Steve Jobs. He manifested it. Okay, so this is what happened. This is how it works. This is literally Manifestation 101. Gene Roddenberry wrote a book and went, I wish. And Steve Jobs looked at it and went, I second the motion. I wish. Boom. And then we had iPhones. That's how it works. The authors make the wish because they're the storytellers. But the readers are the genies who make the wishes come true. They're the ones who have to read it and go, wish granted. This is my favorite part. So how many of us wished for Harry Potter, guys? Do the math. How many of us wished for Hogwarts? Because have you noticed that it happened around the time Tolkien existed? And suddenly Tolkien goes, I wish. Here's how it works. Jules Verne. Give me a minute. Jules Verne is one of my huge influencers. So Jules Verne makes his wish. And here I am going, God, I wish this stuff was real. Boom, it's real. Journey to the center of the earth. Oh, yeah. Around the world in 80 days. I'm totally doing that. Around the world in 80 days. I'm doing it. And then we read H.G. Wells and we're going, oh, I wish H.G. Wells was real. And boop, it's real. It was way too real. It was so real. That was actually a logical fallacy that I picked out. And I went, wait, what is that? Doesn't make any sense. So H.G. Wells wrote War of the Worlds. And then it was like 1930s, 1920s, 1930s when I love Orson Welles a lot. When Orson Welles decided to do a radio show. And in his radio show, he was reading a segment from H.G. Wells when the aliens come down and invade. These three girls were so fucking stupid. They did not know that they were listening to an actor broadcasting from H.G. Wells's book, so they killed themselves. That is how uneducated they were. That instead of asking the question, what are we listening to, and investigating, they were so stupid that they assumed that H.G. Wells's fiction read by Orson Welles literally was occurring. And instead of doing any research, calling up people and asking, calling up the radio station, they decided instead to kill themselves. All three of them. I watched the interview where Orson Welles came to learn of this, and he cried and apologized for their stupid. Well, I watched that beautiful man tear himself apart. He didn't do anything wrong. And you know, that is the kind of shit where I'm looking at the psychology of this shit. And I see dip fucks like you all saying, oh, you need to apologize if you upset. No. Stop apologizing for other people's stupid. Don't ever apologize for other people's stupid. They got what they deserved. You have one job to learn. One job. Did you do it? It was made very fucking clear. You were given one fucking job to learn. You either choose to learn or you don't. And now we live in a culture where you don't learn. That's okay. Everyone's going to tiptoe around your dumb ass. No. Karma says no more. Karma says, fuck that shit no more. That's so upsetting of the equilibrium. And I don't have the time to wait for your dumb ass to figure out the logic, to figure out why that's karma coming for you. I sat there and watched that poor man, the most beautiful person in the world, rip himself apart for those three dumb fucks. How I fucking hate empaths. There's no one in the world more stupid than them, truly. The second perspectives know they're stupid, and they're flouting off their religion. They know they're stupid. They're too scared to be smart. I've talked to them. Six perspectives think they're smart. They're as stupid as the seconds with their coloring books. And they are the ones who fight me the most on most of this. Well, you need to be sensitive to my opinion. No, you need to get off your fucking ass and read a book. And I have no fucking tolerance for it anymore. No fucking tolerance. I just, no. No fucking tolerance. Tolerance is, I have a whole lot of things to say on tolerance. It's called standards and quality. And I don't argue with stupid. Oh, I love that. I don't argue, but I don't talk to stupid. That's it. I don't talk to stupid. That is my rule. I've been looking for this one. I don't talk to stupid. I see, for me, stupid is the most it's a sin. I don't know what the word sin means. Let me look it up. I want to look up the etymology of the word sin. What is sin etymology? This is not going to be so. Oh, it comes from Hebrew. Singian, Old English. This is did it really come from Old English? Interesting. I'm really pissed right now. Oh, I'm pissed. Oh, I'm pissed. The Hebrew word is kata, which means to fail. In the 1600s, some dipfuck decided to invent the word sin and replace kata, to fail, with sin. I know what was going on during the 1600s, religiously, politically, and with the Roman Empire and with the church. I know exactly what was going on in the 1600s. Do you? I'm going to tell you right now, no, you don't, because you haven't studied logic to figure it out. You're probably just going to parrot and copy a bunch of bullshit that the US government told you to repeat. So I have no interest in your opinion. You are a very good, obedient slave of the US government. Congratulations. So kata is the word that is used in the Bible. Kata, which means to fail. Now, that immediately, because that's his logic, you can't just fail, you have to have it in relativity to something. So the question really is, you have failed in relativity to what? Well, what have you failed to do? Well, I'm just going to take logically what I know of the Christian everything and just logically deduce it based off of all the math, and I'm not walking you through the equation because that's going to take a lot more pages and time than me just giving the conclusion. Failed to tell the truth, failed to be logical, failed to follow the 12 ethics. That's what it means. It is absolutely, a sin is to fail at the 12 ethics, which is truth. There you go. Or to be logical, or to love. They're all the same thing. 12 ethics, truth, logic, love. It's literally the same thing. It's a hodgepodge of this is God. It's literally just the 12 ethics, truth, logic, love. And when you fail, so kata, it's really funny that it's kata, because that word in Japanese means a kata, which is like the whole, that this is beautiful. It's so ironic. I wonder if it's truly ironic or if the word is somehow related. I've never gotten into Asian words. And now I'm wondering the etymology of the word kata from karate, when you have something that is like, it's a routine that you go through, the katas. I love the katas. That's when I really went over to Tai Chi, because I was like, all right, I just want to do the katas, which means I just got to go to Tai Chi. So then I started doing Tai Chi even more so because of the katas. But now I'm looking at this word kata, and I'm like, wow, that's really like really similar to kata from karate. I wonder if there's a so this is the first time like my education does not go over there yet. So I'm going, oh, interesting. Ooh. See, now it has to. I can see a lot of Japanese and etymology of language in my future going over there. So that being said, kata to fail. When then in the 1600s, those dip fucks, not the smartest people in the box, decided to add the word sin to our vocabulary. So sin was invented in the 1600s to control you dip fucks, and it worked. So the most stupid followed the whole concept of sin, forgot that he wasn't even in the Bible. Yeah, this makes so much more sense. I couldn't figure that out. I'm like, yeah, I don't believe in sin. Sin's bullshit. It always felt like bullshit to me. Now I know why. Now I know why. There's that dirty feeling of fraud that I sensed. And I'm like, no, there's something about, now I understand why. So I never even bothered looking it up until now because I'm like, it's garbage. I don't know why, but it's garbage. This is funny. So it means to fail. It means to fail. You have failed at the truth. Fascinating. You have failed at the truth. That's yeah. So a sinner is somebody who is not logical or truthful. And you're not going to get love. No, you've been cut off. That's like, but again, that's the logic. This is amazing. This is what I call justice. This is justice. I'm like, oh yeah, that's gorgeous. That's gorgeous. And then you've got these dip fucks walking around going, oh, we're all sinners. We're all sinners. Why are you telling people that? The dumbest thing you could tell people is that shit. Like, why are you literally brainwashing them into thinking that they're sinners? And I know why. I know the psychological garbage that goes along with it. I already broke that one down. So I'm going, okay, so you are literally beating people psychologically into the ground, making them your little garbage nothing so they'll serve and obey you. And I'm going, what the fuck are you doing? You're all geniuses, but you're all stupid. And you're not going to be a genius until you get your stupid out of the way. I found a way to finally talk to you guys so that you can understand me. You're a fucking genius, but you've got your stupid in the way, and you've got to get your stupid out of the way. I had to get my stupid out of the way. And I'm going to tell you right now, before you waste your fucking time, I studied 30 years and all this shit, and it didn't do a goddamn thing to get my stupid out of the way. The only way to get your stupid out of the way is the 12 ethics, truth, logic, and literally, that's it. You have to logically get your stupid out of the way. There. Now, this is making it a lot easier. Oh, marketing is going to be so much easier. You got to get your stupid out of the way because you are a genius. But you got too much stupid. You can be a stupid genius, and that's what you are. You are a stupid genius. Because if you were a real genius, you'd be here. But you're not, because you're a stupid genius. Yeah. I'm starting to, like, I'm integrated. I am integrated. I can feel it. I'm not done yet. I'm this close. I'm this close. I can feel it. And I'm like, oh, I'm really, oh, I can feel it. I can feel it. God, we're witches, bitches. We're witches, bitches. I'm so happy. And then I thought, should we keep this a secret? Wait, Harry Potter. Oh, that was a bad idea. That's right. Look at it. I'm looking at the story. If we hide this, look at what they're going to do. They're going to do the witch trials all over again. They are going to do the witch trials. So what can we expect if we make ourselves go public? Look at the X-Men. All right, I'm looking at the X-Men. They went public. How did it work out for them? We're going to need some sort of like logical sense here because things are going to go bad. So now I'm looking at it going, all right, so we got the Harry Potter option and we got the X-Men option. And I'm comparing the two of them. I've decided to go X-Men option. We're going to go X-Men option. We don't want to hide this because when you hide it, they could sit there and call you fucking crazy and go, oh no, there's no such thing as witches. They're crazy. Yeah, no. We're not going to do that. You know, it's funny because somebody called me a witch a couple days ago too. They're like, you're a witch. You're a witch. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. You have no idea. You have no idea. I have one of the best witches marks on my back. It actually really bothered me my whole life, especially after I read the Scarlet Letter and studied the witchcrafts. And I'm like, and I'm scared. I was like, I'm scared. I have Orion's belt on my back. That's the best part. I had people like, you know, you've got Orion's belt on your back. I know I do. I'm trying to figure out how to do, like, I wanted a tattoo at one point to cover it up. And I'm like, I still want my tattoo. I want real wings. I want real wings. I manifested it. I said, I'm going to get my wings. When I'm all done with this, I'm going to get my wings. Fuck that shit. It's not going to be a tattoo. I'm going to have real wings. And I can feel my wings. I can feel my wings. I'm so excited. I'm going to be a fairy, a real one. So I'm sitting here like, this is great. This is my brain. Are you ready for this one? I'm doing things like this. How are dragons going to fly around the airplanes? Are we going to have like a flight pattern of dragons so that airplanes are on a different flight path than the dragons? Ooh, we're going to have to correct math before we do this, because I can't have those dip fucks with their really shitty math skills that's not going to work. No. All right. So we're going to have dragons and airplanes in the sky for a while. And then they're going to realize, well, everyone can just, beam yourself over, or you can transport or teleport. You can use a port key, or you can use a dragon, or you can be a dragon. And I'm going, yeah, okay. So airplanes are not going to be here for very long. Their days are numbered. And I'm going, all right, I can now see a future where the airplanes are all gone because we all can fly without them. Yep. I am so happy. You have no idea. Yep. I'm thinking about my cruise ships. My cruise ships are going to be my actual school because that's awesome. Maritime law. If I'm free. Oh, yeah. There it is. Watch me do this now. Yep. My schools are going to be my cruise ships. That's right. And you know why? Because maritime law. Oh, pirates aren't even going to stand a chance. That's one of the magical ships. Oh, we shouldn't fuck around with those. Pirates? Like, oh yeah. Oh my God. This is going to be so fucking great. So that's what the Healing Gardens cruise ship line is going to be. It's actually going to be my school because maritime law. So yeah, and we'll be able to, all right, here's flying lessons, guys. Go to the top deck and fly around the cruise ship a couple times. And then we're going to have the mermaid classes. First, work it out here. Once you're a pro mermaid, we're going to have the instructor go with you into the ocean and you can go flop around in the sea as a mermaid. Please stay with your assigned mermaid buddy. Yep, that's right. That's right. That's what I'm building. I'm so excited. Transfiguration classes. It's going to be Hogwarts on a cruise ship. Only there's not going to be Hogwarts because that's not what I would name it. I always bothered me, but that's her imagination. So good for you, Rowling. Good for you, Rowling. But it's not me. I remember I was the one going, if I wanted a wizarding school, which one would I call it? And I didn't like any of them. I'm like, God, they're so fucking racist. Ew. Why are her schools so fucking racist? Ugh. I hated it. I hated the amount of racism and segregation in her classes. Couldn't stand it. The sorting houses. And I know it was all metaphorical and she was trying to teach you a lesson, but it's not a lesson I needed. And I think she literally was showing like the reality of the world of this is how fucking segregated you guys are. And I'm looking at it going, how would I do my school of magic? The thing is, not squibs. We're not squibs. What are we called? That other ugly word. I don't like to say that word. No, I don't like that word at all. No, never mind. Wow. No. Yeah, that one. That word was so real to me that it's like the N word. I'm like, I don't say that word. That's black magic. That's black magic. You're using black magic, right? You're using black magic. Every time you speak narcissist talk, you're using black magic. And I think that's really what I need to tell people. You're using black magic. And you don't even know it because you're so fucking stupid. There. I got some really good people, but they're so stupid they're using black magic. And they don't even know it. And I've been trying to figure out how to articulate this stuff. And it's weird fucking shit. But now I have a whole logical code that I can sit down and just say it to you guys. You know you're using black magic, right? But you're so fucking stupid that you don't know what you're speaking is actually black magic. And instead of learning, you're telling me how great your black magic is. There. So when you come into my space, I'm going to tell you what you're using is black magic. That is my job. This is my calling in life, is to teach people that are really good how stupid they are, that they're using black magic. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's why I get angry. Good, it feels so good to finally say the words. This is so fucking weird. This is so fucking weird. My life is so weird. I'm sitting here in the abstract and I'm looking at, and I just, this is so fucking surreal. I just translated all of my abstract and I went, oh. I can translate this. It's just not in a language I would ever use because, And I just made the connection. I can now translate abstractic fluently for you. Abstractic is magic talk. That's what it is. Abstractic is the science language behind magic. There. I invented the magical language for science. The science of, well, yeah, it's the same thing. Magic and science are the same thing. And there's like a whole lot of people sitting there going, yeah, I know. Why are you so? No, fuck. We're going to explain this to you this way. I'm a scientist. And here, it's an order of operations. I'm going to believe it based off of an opinion and my feelings. And this is really where we're getting it. I've had this conversation before. The question is, where do you put your belief? Where do you put your belief? And this is probably the only space that opinion really is allowed. Do you put your belief before or after the fact? Now, if you put your opinion before fact, you are going to have to accept that you're wrong. But if you put your opinion or your belief after the fact, that means you have a higher probability of being right. So you've increased the odds of you being right. Now, we have a world filled with people who either put their belief before fact or after fact. And this has created a schism because all the people who have put their belief after fact are now within the ethical confines of proof because they refuse to believe until they see. Or they refuse to believe until the logic is there to prove it. For me, the logic has to be there to prove it. Now, if you are someone who puts your opinion before the fact, your belief before the fact, then you have to accept the fact that you're going to be wrong. You're going to be wrong. Or you have to be that fucking good at translating the universe. But here's the catch. You don't get to translate the universe unless you can speak logic. So if you have logic, then what you believe is going to match up to the fact. But if you don't have logic, you're going to go off onto left field. But if you are putting your belief before fact, chances are you're really uneducated. You might be able to feel shit, but that's about as far as you got because you don't know the next several stages of scientific method in order to get you from, well, it feels good. Well, there you go. But do you understand it? Now you are officially an idiot savant. An idiot savant is somebody who just knows shit without actually knowing it, without understanding it. So you know something without the understanding, which is why you're an idiot. Idiot savant. Somebody who believes something without any information. So whenever you sit there and boast your opinion, you actually are boasting that you're an idiot. idiot savant. Now, the question is, how good is your logic? Because if you have an excellent logical status, then your interpretation is going to be more correct. But that's going to 100% be relative to how good your logic skills are. So, have you been abused? Because if you've been abused, your logic skills are going to be shit. If you have been abused, because abusers go for your logic. That is what they target. Abusers target your logic, which is why you're so stupid. I can't explain this enough. Abusers abuse your logic. That's all they target. So if your parents were abused, they had literally dysfunctional logic, and they raised you. You were not being raised in proper logic. So right there, fucked up. Now, add your own abuse on top of that, and that's going to warp it even more so. So now your logic is way off in left field. And you're stupid. So the more stupid you are, the more logic you have that's been disabled, the more you are literally breaking down your ability to access your genius. So your genius is there, but your stupid is so big you can't get to it. Now, the only way you can access your genius is by getting rid of your stupid. The only way to get rid of your stupid is literally to admit that you're stupid and you have a lot to learn. We're back to the meek shall inherit the earth. So this is making so much more sense. So it comes down to, are you somebody who puts your belief before or after the fact? Now, people who put their belief before the fact will brag about how righteous that is. I think it's stupid, but righteous is the word they prefer because they guessed right. So now those are the people who brag that they guessed right without having any understanding. So they're who I refer to as the village idiots because they think this is somehow a righteous thing to guess right. This is how primitive this is now. Is we've got children who are going, I guessed right. I guessed right. And my God, I am so fucking sick of that. I get people who come up to me at least every day telling me or asking me which religion is right. Really? Really? And I've had people, the first couple times I was stupid enough to answer. And then I started to see the pattern. Oh, look at me. I'm right. I'm right. Okay. I'm not going to answer in that question anymore. So, wow. It tells me how mature you are. Maturity. Do you remember that word? Most of you have probably forgotten it. Mature. Mature means ethically wise. And this is, yeah, I'm right. I'm right. I'm good. I'm good. I get here and I'm going, wow. This is the state of the place. And I feel like the kindergarten teacher who just got in and I walked into Lord of the Flies. I walked into Lord of the Flies. What the fuck? What the fuck? Have any of you done the assignments I left you? Have any of you done the fucking assignments? No! You're over there barbecuing human beings. What the fuck? So yeah, I'm a little pissed. So I'm sitting here looking at these dumb fucks and you're all wearing war paint playing Lord of the Flies. And I'm pissed because none of you have done the actual assignment. And the actual assignment is learn, you dumbasses. But none of you are doing that. No, some of you are in the corner turning my book over, looking at it. Well, have any of you actually gone inside of it? No. Okay, so let me translate this for you. You remember the never-ending story? It's real. I left you a book. The never-ending story is a book, a real one. Now, most of you dumb fucks decided to just look at the cover. And that's it. I've got 3 people actually reading it now. I read it. I got 3 people actually reading it now. And I'm going, all right, very good. But I had to, no, I didn't really have to convince them. No, they come upon my work and they went, oh my God. And I went, yeah, okay, so you're the smart ones. The ones who are smart look at my work and they figure it out fast, which is why I'm only for 160 IQ plus. That's when I figured that out. I went, oh, yeah, you're not going to understand me if you're less than 160 IQ. All right, I'm definitely at the wrong. All right, that's it. But then I get in with these 160 IQers, and I got these people telling me how smart they think they are. And I'm going, no, you're an idiot. You're stupid. You're stupid because, and then I go over all the reasons. And I'm like, okay, there you go. So you're so stupid that you don't understand how stupid the system is. And some of you have figured out how stupid the system is. And you've gone, wow, but you're not getting how stupid it is. Your education. You were raised in it. You were raised in it. How stupid do you think you can't be if you've been raised in stupid? Come on. I wasn't raised in stupid. I saw stupid and went, wow, this is stupid. I'm going to go find another system. And I found another system. I found the best system. And I went, all right, I saved my brain. I am the only one who saved my brain. And I'm looking at the rest of you guys going, okay. So then there's they're so stupid that they don't even think about how stupid they are or are not. And then there's I'm stupid and I know I'm stupid. And then there's the people who are like, oh, no, I'm smarter than all the other stupid people, but I'm so smart and so arrogant. I don't know how stupid I am. And then there's these people going, oh, no, I'm smart and you're really the stupid one. And I'm up here going, wow. I'm not even up here. I'm over there, all the way over there on the outside, watching all of you argue this inside your fishbowl going, wow. People want to know which perspective they are at. People really want to know that. Ethics and wisdom are the same thing. Ethics and wisdom are the same thing. They are identical. People don't know what wisdom is because they're stupid. Wisdom is actually true knowledge. That's what you don't know. What do you think wisdom is? It's true knowledge. So how often do you find a sage? How often do you speak to somebody who's wise? Because wisdom is true knowledge. Everything else is a distraction. Do you understand now? Wisdom is when you unlock your genius because you got your stupid out of the way. What you guys have, if you know you're not a sage, and if you would not call yourself wise, you're right. Why do you think that is? Why do we revere wisdom? It's a word. I have a rule. I do not call myself a name unless somebody tells it to me first. I will not call myself a name unless someone gives it to me. With the exception of sage, because I reverse engineered that shit. All my other names were 100% given to me. I did not call myself wise until I had so many other people calling me wise. So my titles, when I tell somebody I'm a genius, those are gifts from people. Those were not self-ordained. They were gifts. When I tell you I'm wise, those were gifts from people. Names are gifts. And I'm sitting here looking at what wisdom is. It's something that's been not bothering me, but it's been a logical interest of mine for quite a while, trying to figure out what is the difference between wisdom and knowledge. And here it is there is no such thing as a difference between wisdom and knowledge. Wisdom is knowledge. Until you have wisdom, you're an idiot. And if you think you're educated without wisdom, you are so stupid. And that's really where I'm taking a massive step back from the way I thought about the world, the way not that I thought about the world. It's all, how do I explain this? This is something I really would love to. It's all a stepping block. It's an integrated road. You're laying down the blocks to get to a certain point. And most of you have laid maybe 3 bricks. And you're sitting here going, look at that, I'm a genius, because you got 4 fucking bricks. And you're comparing yourself. I know how to prove to you how stupid you are. Wow. I see it now. I see it now. I got it. I got it. When you selected your point of relativity, did you choose the dumbest box, the dumbest crayon in the box to compare your genius to? Most of you probably compared down instead of comparing up. Are you comparing down or are you comparing up? I compare up. I don't compare down. I bet you compared down, though. I've heard people do this where they say, compared to that guy, I'm a genius. Are you comparing down? Are you so stupid that you are comparing down? Because when you compare down, you are lowering the bar. So when you look at someone with a 70 IQ and you've got a 100 IQ, you must be a real fucking genius. But you're looking at somebody who's at a 70. Welcome to narcissism. Narcissists only compare down. Narcissists compare down. When you look at how far you've come, you are only supposed to be comparing yourself to your past self. But stupid people will compare their progress to other stupid people and then think because they've made it further, they've done better. Wise people compare up. Now, I love my mother, but my mother is very uneducated. Now, this was not a secret. We knew she was uneducated. She knew she was uneducated. She made it very clear. She had to drop out of 9th grade to keep her family alive because her mother was that much of an asshole and a monster. So my mother never got to finish the 9th grade because she had to keep her family alive. And my mother was still a really fucking smart woman. However, when I was going through my educational studies, I looked at my mother and I knew she was not going to be a standard for me because she did not have an education past the 9th grade. So I had to find something that was better than that. I had to find somebody to aspire to because I knew my mother was not going to be the standard for me. I love her to pieces. And this is not unknown in my family. My mother was always smart enough to tell you, I'm uneducated. You know, that was probably the best thing my mother ever taught me, is how to openly admit, I have a high school diploma. I'm self-taught. The dumbest thing you could possibly do is create a degree for education. Educators are the dumbest people, really the dumbest people. Oh, fuck. And I'm not even going to explain it anymore. When you go through it, and this is the beautiful part, there's going to be a point where everyone goes through it, and they're going to get to that point, and they're going to be like, oh, wow, educators are really dumb. Uh-huh. I understand why Anna is so pissed. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, there's going to be that relevant, and I'm starting to see it with my 3 people who are in the program. 2 of them have come back to me, and they're like, I'm understanding why you're so angry now. Thank you. I am now understood. I have 3 people on the planet who understand me because they're going through the program and they're going, oh, wow, we are really dumb. Uh-huh. Yep, we are. When you watch my YouTube videos and you get to about April of 2023, it lasts from 2023 to 2024 where I'm fucking pissed. And I couldn't explain it then. Now I can explain it. Because I was ethically starting to become aware of, in relativity, how stupid everything is, how stupid I was, how dumbed down I had been with abuse. And I'm just looking at it going, what the fuck? And then I could see all the whys. Why was I abused down to the point of stupid? Because you have been abused down to the point of stupid. And there's like levels of how stupid are you? And I suddenly started to realize it. And as I came out of it, the thing I really had to eat crow the most of was, oh my God, that's how much I was abused. I'm raising the bar. I'm raising it fucking high. Because it's at a point where there are geniuses in the world who need it high or they will die. And the rest of the world is so stupid that they are dying. And they're so stupid they don't even realize they're stupid is what's killing them. You can get to a point where you are so stupid that it will kill you. And you're there. And you're too stupid to even know it. But you're there. Stupid is the deadliest thing in the world. Ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is deadly, dumb fucks. But you're too stupid to know that. I really want you to wrap your head around this. There's the person who ate the red berry the first time and they died. But there were people who then turned around and ate the red berry anyway. You're that person. And you have no idea what death looks like. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, you don't know. You have no idea. I have seen over 60 cats die. Before I was 12. I have seen 4 people die before I was 10. I had one April referred to as the April of death, where I literally buried over 32 pets in 1 month. I have seen every kind of death you can imagine my entire life. When I was 4, I saw something so horrible, I can't talk about it. So I have seen every kind of death you can imagine. I know what it looks like. One of the things that really surprised me when I was talking to people was how unexposed to death they are. My grandparents, my grandfathers, both of them died 3 months apart from each other. That was in 2022. I literally lost both of my grandfathers 3 months apart from each other. I really, really hate death. I have seen a lot of it up close. I don't want, I have seen every kind of fucking torture there is. I don't. And I noticed what death looks like. And I'm looking at it. I'm looking at all of you. And I'm going, wow, you're dying and you don't even know it. You're dying and you don't even know it. Your diabetes is death. You're just starting it now. You think death is sudden? No, it's not. No, it's not. It's a deterioration. You don't know. It was when I was studying frostbite, and it's when I was studying this one disease where the body dies and you have to amputate off parts of your body to keep the rest of you alive because you have a bacteria infection that literally just kills your entire body in pieces. I studied the plague. I've seen it. I've studied every kind of death you can possibly think of. And I watched the biological process of what happens. And then I studied and broke it down into the logical process of what happens. And I went, oh, look at that. Fascinating. So I'm watching all of you, and I'm looking at you going, wow, you're dying. And you have no idea. And doctors aren't going to tell you you're dying because they're so fucking stupid. They built doctors. I really want to point this out to you. Doctors who took the vow of do no harm have created an entire business where you stay sick. That's how stupid you are. And none of you question it. You're all going, okay, like a bunch of Barbie dolls. So I want you to really, really understand that I've got some really fucking awesome shit to hand you here. And I'm going, you are too stupid to receive any more of my knowledge. I am not going to give you an Arcana. No fucking way. I'm teaching that in a private class to my triadic healing people. Bottom line. When I know you're fucking ethical and you've done the work, then I'll give it to you. Then there it is. There it is. That's it right there. I will teach my Arcana to my 3 people. You want it? Go through triadic healing. And I mean, you have to go into it. So this is really important because there's going to be some of you stupid fucks who are going to just study about it. That doesn't cut it. You've got to go into it. Never Ending Story is a real book and you have to go into it. But if you're too stupid to even know how to get into it, you're not going to, no, I don't. You won't be able to do that till you're the 5th or 6th ethic. 5th and 6th ethics will be the ones to go. You're going to hear it. Wait, you have to go into it? What does that mean? Well, what it means is you have to experience it. Experience it. You're not supposed to study a subject. You're supposed to experience it. God, teachers are so fucking stupid. Guys, you're not supposed to study a subject. You're supposed to experience it. One day, you will get to this point and you will understand and you will go, I am so sorry you had to. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Like I said, Lord of the Flies. Lord of the Flies. I'm going to clean up this town. All right. Educators are the dumbest people in the world. I'm just looking at them going, wow. And they want to keep their jobs. That's what all this is about. They want to keep their jobs. They just want their job. They just want to know how to pay money. So I just stand in front of people. They worship me. They stare at me. And I get to be in the limelight while I talk. Oh my God, you're a public speaker. Teachers are public speakers. Except they don't have to go through the work of buying the fucking ticket. The government dumps their audience in their lap. Teachers are just glorified public speakers. And most of them are there for the stage because they want to be the center of attention without doing the fucking work. And as long as they have a teaching position, they've got it made, which is why the majority of teachers wanted to be actors and actresses, but they couldn't make it there because the competition was too high. But they wanted a stage. These are people who think that they can do the job of Mother Nature. That without me, you're not going to learn. Do you really think Mother Nature was so fucking stupid that she made sure you were going to be there to... Really? Really? Parents are the teachers, dumbasses. Parents are the only teachers. Parents are the only teachers. Because when you have a parent who actually knows how to fucking teach their child, they don't need you. Not at all. I taught my daughter how to learn, and then I left her alone. And she knows how to learn. And she does it all on her own. And then she educates me on biology. Thank you. So that is how it works. And I'm going, all right. And I get this person who walks over to me every day and she tells me science facts. And I'm like, fascinating. And then she sends me the articles and I'm like sitting here reading on it. And I'm like, all right. And I'm sitting here doing my weird shit every day. And she's listening to the majority of it. And she's sitting here like afterwards, I'll get off. And then she and my son will sit there. I'll sometimes sit there and have like conversations from my kids over the material they're listening to. And I'm going, yeah, that's right. That's how you teach. You don't. You don't. You leave it the fuck alone because Mother Nature's got it taken care of. And the only time our children don't learn is when we interfere in the beginning. God fucking damn it. We're so stupid, we don't even know how to get out of our own way. This is me processing. That's what I'm doing with this. I'm processing it all. And I'm making sense of it. And I'm going, oh. Usually I call up my friends and I just bitch and vent because I'm pissed off. Sometimes I'll do like a little 20-minute video. And I'm going, no, this is something bigger. This is something different. I don't know what's going on. I just know that I logically have to sit here and do this right now. Now, because I'm so fucking logical, I'm always right. Because when I'm not right, it fucking hurts. So I have learned how not to open my mouth in such a way because I know, oh, that's going to hurt. Because I know the words that come out of my mouth are actual spells that are going to cause me some fucking pain if I don't go. Like, I can't touch black magic. I can't. I'm a white witch, which is why I have a white dragon. That's right. So I'm sitting here. Oh God, I want to transform into my white dragon. My white dragon. Oh, I can be a tiger. I don't have to get a tiger. I can be a tiger. Okay, I'm going to calm down. I'm all right. That's been a lifelong dream of mine. I wanted a tiger, but I could not figure out how to do it ethically, so I could not have a tiger. But by God, did I spend a lot of my time going, how do I get a tiger ethically? And I have no tiger. Oh, good God. I actually calculated the mathematical, how much money do I need to have a pet tiger? What kind of an environment would I require in order to keep my pet tiger happy, healthy, and safe? I'm going to have to be a billionaire just so I can have my pet tiger ethically. And that's really what this has come down to. It's cheap if it's unethical. It's cheap if it's unethical. That's the difference. It's cheap if it's unethical. And sometimes it's so cheap that it's fake. So you can be fake, and then you can be cheap, and then you can be ethical. So are you fake, cheap, or ethical? The cheap people are the ones who are borderline ethical. They have enough standards that they won't be fake. Oh, but you can easily slide into the fake section. So now you can have people who are fake and cheap. And I'm over here going, no. I'm going to be ethical. Thank you. Now you can be ethical and frugal. That's the nice sweet spot. I love ethical and frugal, which means I can't have my tiger. But what I can do is have a safari that is actually an animal reserve that I fund, so I own it. And then I have people who protect it. That's how I get my tigers. That's right. That's how I'm going to get my tigers. I'm going to have a space. I'm going to purchase the land, and then I'm going to give it to nature and be like, this is my space, and it belongs to Mother Nature. Don't you dare fucking get on my land. And then I'm going to have people who hunt the poachers. That's right. That's what I'm going to do. Don't fucking touch my animals. That's right. See, I learned this from Queen Victoria. I studied her ruling style. I loved her ruling style. Do you know what she did? She bought all of Africa. And then she illegalized slavery and said, fuck off. Africa's mine. That's what most people don't know. Queen Victoria decided a new technique to fight slavery. She bought Africa and then said, fuck off. Don't touch my people. So if you touched an African person, you were actually stealing from the British crown. Oh, Queen Victoria had said a lot about that. So if you watch the movie L'Amistad, this is what happens. This is a true story. Watch the movie L'Amistad. So they basically kidnapped these African people and they brought them over to port somewhere in Jamaica in the Caribbean, and they transferred them over to make them look like they were Caribbean, and then they brought them up the coast to sell them for market in, God, this is so fucking disgusting, and I want to throw up, in Boston or New York. I can't remember which. I think it was New York. And but the people on the boat overthrew. It's a ship. People overthrew the slave runners, and the ship ended up coming into port without any slave owners on it. So the slaves showed up, or the prisoners showed up. Like, there is a difference between a prisoner and a slave. There is no difference between a prisoner and a slave. They are the same thing. Just saying. And the prisoners showed up. The difference is one is no, there's no difference. They're the same thing. Prisoner is slave. It's the same thing. So they show up, and they're not speaking any language that anyone can understand, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. Now it comes into question, are these slaves or are they African? If they're slaves, then they have to be punished. But if they're African, then they're people. God, this is so fucking disgusting. This is so fucking disgusting. Anyway, this is how the court saw it back then. And so they had to prove that these people came from the Queen's land, which meant that they were free, which meant that they were people. And that's the entire movie, is the court that took place to figure out if these people were African or Caribbean. And it was, I was really focused, though, on Queen Victoria. First of all, she's an 8-year-old fucking girl. She's an 8-year-old fucking child. And at 8 and 9 years old, she made the realization that if she just purchased Africa and then passed a law, you don't fucking touch my people, that she could actually protect them and also remove any asshole from that space. And if you touch those people, you are touching citizens of the UK crown. You see what she did? Stroke of genius. And I'm looking at this 8-year-old girl going, how the fuck did you figure that out? What education did Queen Victoria get? It's like, that's fucking genius. And that's the kind of shit that I'm thinking about, is where the fuck did Queen Victoria get her education from, that she figured this shit out? This woman was a fucking genius. Yes. I don't know if we have avocados. Let me know.
Let you know.
Yes. Now, by the time Queen Elizabeth came along, she wanted to be taught. And her mother was like, you're the queen. Why? Or you're going to be the queen. Why do you need an education? And she was pissed, and she had to advocate for her. And her mother was angry with her because she got education.
No, we don't have one.
Okay. Okay, so she became ruler in 1820. When was she born? 1819. Wait.
But you can rule at 1?
Yep. She became queen of all of England at 1 year old. Yep. I thought she was 3 or 4 when she became queen. I did not realize she was 1 year old. So Queen Victoria was queen at 1 year old. And then, of course, at 18, she inherited the throne. Here it is, right here. She became a national icon who was identified with strict standards of personal morality. There it is. There it is. Victorian morality. Oh. Victorian values emerged in all social classes and reached all facets of Victorian living. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. including current plays and all literature, were cleansed of content considered to be inappropriate for children or vulgarized. The international slave trade was abolished, and this ban was enforced by the Royal Navy. Slavery was ended in all the British colonies. Child labor was ended in British factories, and long debate ensued regarding whether prostitution should be totally abolished or tightly regulated. Homosexuality remained illegal. So the question is, where did she get her moral code? Let's do the math. Where did she get her moral code? Sexuality. Sexuality is advanced. Fuck advanced. Child labor. She picked up on that one. She picked up on slavery, which meant she definitely had the sixth ethical perspective down. She had a value for education, which meant she had made it to the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th. She was wise. That woman was fucking smart. Sexuality comes in at the 31st level of consciousness. And even then, I'm at the 45th and I'm still tearing it apart. I actually had an epiphany about it the other day. This is in the 5th Triadic Healing part. This is Triadic Healing part 5, and I don't touch this. I don't talk about this at all publicly. This is exclusive stuff to my graduates only. Yes, please. Thank you. Queen Victoria, like I said, Queen Victoria fascinated me. When I saw what she was pulling off, I'm like, you know something. You know something. So Queen Victoria raised the ethical standard. Now, she didn't do it properly. There was imbalance. And that's because she had the ethics wrong. And I'm trying to figure out which ethics did she have wrong. Because the ethics, she fucked it up at sexuality, which is why so she suppressed sexuality, and then you saw the increase of debauchery. And that's it right there, is you are going to see an increase of the debauchery if you suppress it. So this is a great example of sociology where you step back and you look at how this one queen rose the ethical standard, and then the debauchery escalated. Now, I want to show you something. Without ethics, look outside. Look at Wonderland. So now you have no ethical standard, and it's all the way up here. So now by raising the ethical standard, then this is what Queen Victoria did. This is what I'm doing with the world, is raising the ethical standard. When you do that, it's there. The problem is she did it through law enforcement. That's where she fucked up. She did it through law enforcement, which is actually a violation of the 4th ethic. She violated the 4th ethic because she used her power to do it. I'm using education to do it. And that's where she fucked up, because she forced it on them. She did not give them a choice. That's the problem. She actually violated the 2nd ethic and the 4th. So she did not have the 12 ethics. She was on the right path. And this is an example of studying about ethics versus going inside of them. You've got to experience them. You cannot. So this is really hard to explain. When you study about something, it goes into your memory, which is there for about 2 weeks, and then you forget it. But when you go inside something, you are integrating the skill inside your intuition. Now, you're not learning it. That's learning. That is learning, but you haven't understood it yet. Understanding is an advanced stage of learning. So you have learning and then you have understanding. So learning is the process of experiencing a skill so that it integrates inside your intuition. And then, so you have the practicing stage. You have to practice the skill to integrate it. And then after that is this is it right here. After you have practiced the skill, you now have to move into a state of proficient. You have to become proficient at it. This is where most people end their education. This is it right here. You, by the way, this is still learning. You are in stage 2 of learning. Stage 2 of learning is developing the proficiency. Stage 1 of learning is memorization through practice repetition. Stage 3 of learning, thank you, sweetheart. Just butter.
We have jam.
Ooh, jam, please. Thank you. So stage 3 of learning is reverse engineering the skills comprehension from your intuition into materialization and being able to summarize it simply in a few words. That's stage 3. Thank you. And then stage 4 is making cocktails with it. Stage 5 is the sage mode, and that's one where that's so bizarre. Stage 5 is when you master your own cocktail. That's it. Stage 4 is when you master your own cocktail. That's it exactly. So stage 4 is when you create the cocktail. Stage 5 is when you master your own cocktail. And you can reverse engineer your own cocktail. That's sage mode. Stage 5. That's when you reach wisdom. Yeah, that's wisdom. So you have, let me see here. Stage 4 is philosopher mode. So let me explain this to you. What I am referring to is apprentice tradesman master skill development. Now you've heard master, but you're so stupid that you think it stops at master. That's what I'm trying to say. It then goes on to philosopher, and then it goes on to sage. There are 5 stages of learning. I imagine there's more. I know there's more. I can see more. I just haven't unlocked them yet. Imagine you're playing Skyrim, and you got these little levels, right? And you get to go in and you get to spend your bonus points every time you level up your experience points, right? And you choose what? You might have 2, and now you're calling yourself smart. But when you zoom out and you look at the full picture of all the development, of all the craft, there you go. How's that for some perspective? There it is. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That most of you have maybe 1 or 2 experience points. And there it is. There it is. You have maybe 2 to 4 XP. You are a level 4 in Skyrim. There's some relativity for you. You are a level 4 in Skyrim. And I'm just going, and I am the Black Knight. And I'm just looking at you like, really? You don't, the Black Knight doesn't even show up until you hit level 56. Like, that's the kind of stuff I'm looking at where I've got a lot of, I'm so high in my level. Where are you? I'm a 6. You're a 6? Cute. So play Skyrim at level 6, and that's what you look like to me. That's what I'm trying to say. And then you start bragging at how advanced in the game you are. There it is. There's my frustration. There it is. So how would you feel if you're playing WoW and you got this dipshit walking around going, I'm a level 4. Look at how great I am. I'm educated and I got all these degrees. You're a level 4 and you're bragging that you're a pro at the game when you're a level 4? Has anyone told you how stupid you are? Like, that's where it's at. And because you have been comparing down, you're so stupid you've been comparing down. And I'm going, are you even comparing up? So I'm now big picture. And I'm like, yes, the words are finally here. So now I got to think. I got it now. Yeah, this is all like coming together. All right. So I've got my Arcana. I'm a witch. We all are. I have a potential audience if they admit that they're stupid, but most of them are so stupid they won't admit that they're stupid. Even the really fucking smart ones are really stupid. And the ones who are sitting here going, oh yeah, I know there's magic. Well, okay, great. Now I got to ask the question, have you put your belief before or after the fact? And now, and this is where I'm at, is if you've put your belief after the fact, you need to understand the probability of you being right is really fucking low, which means even though you might know about magic, it's now do you understand that if you want to wield it, you're going to have to learn it? Now, here's where my conundrum is. Do I let you have it if you don't even understand the science? No. Now I'm thinking about a chemistry lab. That's exactly what I thought of. Do you allow assholes to play with acid if they don't understand the chemistry? No. And I'm about to hand you something much more dangerous than fucking acid. No. No, you are not allowed to play in this lab. No, Arcana lab is closed off to you dumb fucks. You want inside the lab, that's going to require. So now I'm asking the question, what are the prerequisites? That's really what this is about. What are the prerequisites that I have to compose for you to have access to this shit? Because you don't have a bunch of 4-year-olds who think they're smart. Acid. You see what I'm doing? So now I got to ask the question, at what point is someone smart enough to gain access to this? Now, I'm 45 ethically. So I'm looking at it going, how about 45 years old? Because that's how old I was when I found this shit. You have to be 45 ethical years old in order to even touch this shit. Yeah, that's right. There you go. There you go. I'm going to say 45 ethical years old. And your subconscious mind right now is probably 4 to 6 years old. There it is. All right, 45. Now, I'm only 45, and I just realized that it's there. So I'm actually not going to be able to touch it until I logically understand it, which means I'm going to be closer to probably 48 or 54 by the time I actually understand and can rip it down and pull it apart and then use it. Yeah, I cannot wait. I'm so excited. We're going to be calm now. Yes, because I got to figure out how to do this ethically. See, when you're on the ethical path, the world is allowed to come to you and you completely own it ethically. But if you're going to do this unethically, no, because now we're back to the other thing that I said, where it's all on a spectrum of fake, cheap, or ethically frugal. And that's it. I am not giving this information to fakers. And I am not giving this information to cheap cheaters. Do you notice how similar the word cheap and cheat are? There's a reason for that. And I'm going, okay, all right. See, this is where there's a logical flaw inside of Harry Potter. She gave magic to the unethical fucks. Why did you do that? In her world, even the unethical ones had magic. And I'm going, no, that's not how magic works. Magic is not something you get if you are a piece of fucking shit. There is no shortcuts in magic. No, 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 no. There can't be. I've seen what you dipshits do when you're given basic biology, basic animals. I've seen it. So no, I'm not going to give you dragons, you dumb fucks. You got to be fucking ethical to get dragons. Only the ethical get dragons. That's right. Now I have a desire to watch Game of Thrones and see how ethical she was before she got her. What?
How to Train Your Dragon.
How to Train Your Dragon.
That big guy who had the big dragon.
Big guy who had the big dragon. That I need more than that.
It's like the second or third movie. I think.
Oh, the asshole? The asshole! Look at how he treated those dragons.
The one with the missing arm.
The one with the missing arm. The fucking asshole. No, 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 no. I am not giving the unethical dragons. No. All right. And here's the best part. If the unethical decide to be assholes, I'm going to send my dragons after them. Totally. Dragons. I'm going to get my dragons. I'm so excited. I see my dragons guarding the school. We're going to have dragons in Manhattan. Dragons in Manhattan. Oh, no, that's going to be a book. Lizzie says it sounds like a horror movie. No, it's not. It's going to be my urban fantasy novel, Dragons in Manhattan. That's right. Oh, yeah, I'm doing it. Zombies from space. That's a real book. I wrote it. Zombies from space and vampires. Dragons in Manhattan. Yes. Dragons in Manhattan. I'm going to write this book. And the best part is, as I write it, it's going to become real because all my books always come real. Don't they? It's real. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. I'm so amazed. The dragons are real. The dragons are real. Oh, I love it. I'm so excited. Oh, it's amazing. It's so fucking amazing. So I can't tell you because that's spoilers. But yeah, I wrote this in Dolor and Shadow. It's in Dolor and Shadow and then Fire and Lies. And I wrote it all out. I went, this is so amazing. And then Broken happened. And now it makes sense. Now I'm going, oh, I manifested my memory coming back. And then boop, Broken happened. Oh, yep, that happened. That's funny. And I'm watching Dolor and Shadow take place in real life now. And I'm like, this is weird. And that's just it. I'm Kalon. And I'm like, yeah. All right. I'm so excited. I am so excited. I am just like juiced up. Yeah. Yes. I'm so excited. Woohoo. I'm so excited. I think the most toxic thing we did as a culture is we came up with this idea of that pretentious God. The pretentious God is the most disgusting thing. Who came up with that shit? Like, who put a stick so high up Jesus's ass? Like, who did that? Who made Christ and God's? You know what? No, you made him out of your own image. You're the pretentious fuck. That's why Christ was made into a pretentious fuck. It's because the real Christ is Jesus. Like, he's Jesus. I love this one meme I saw. It's Christ at the Garden of Gethsemane. And it's a very famous painting of Christ praying in the Garden of Gethsemane. And then you see a cop walking by with a spray bottle, spraying water in Christ's face, going, get a job, fucking hippie. And I'm going, I'm still processing the meme. I'm like, there is so much truth in that meme. There is so much truth in that meme. Yeah. So I am absolutely on the side of the Dionysius event at the Olympics. And I just got to say, that is some fucking awesome shit. I'm just like, oh, yes, thank you. That is amazing. I studied that last night and I was like, oh my God, that is so fucking cool. And every fuck Christian in the world who thinks it's about them is that fucking stupid. Like, wow. But I don't give a shit about those dumb fucks. Oh my God, I loved that. Oh my God, hats off. That is like easily the most amazing stuff I've ever seen. I am so fucking see, for me, my thing is the Olympic Games. I love the fucking Olympics. Huh. Yeah. That's how you do shit. Compete with the self. That's how you do sports. That is how sports is done. By the way, that's the shit that came from the Greeks. That's probably the only fucking Greek thing in this entire fucking piece of shit world. The rest is all Rome. And it's so dirty. I hate Rome. Ugh. God fucking damn Romans. All of you. All right, I'm done now. Where are my Greeks? Where are my fucking Greeks? That's the real word for narcissist. Roman. That's what you are. You're a Roman. Imperializing piece of shit bastards. You're garbage. You want to be good? Stop being a fucking Roman. The entire mindset of the ancient Greek philosophy is inside the Olympic Games. The beauty, the purity of it. That is so beautiful. I loved Michael Phelps. Oh my God. Michael Phelps. When I swim, I'm a mermaid. Come on. I had a swimming pool for like a big one. I had like a 30-foot by 10-foot swimming pool that was all mine. I miss my swimming pool. And I swam about 3 hours every day. I don't know if I was good or bad. It was my ethical, was I skilled at it is the question. Was I skilled at it? I have no idea. I would say no, because I compared my swimming skills to Michael Phelps. Compare up. So I'm looking at Michael Phelps, and I had a long way to go. I have a long way to go. So I'm going, yeah. So this is how I do it. I look at Michael Phelps and I go, okay, he can swim. So I'm going, all right, I'm gonna be Michael Phelps. So to pump myself up, I would go swimming every day, and I'd go, Michael Phelps, eat your heart out. and I know I'm shit. That's the best thing. I know I'm shit in comparison to Michael Phelps. But I want to be like Michael Phelps. No, I don't. I want to be almost. I want to be like Michael Phelps. I'm going to be like Michael Phelps. I'm debating if it were ethical if I turn myself into a mermaid and then I beat Michael Phelps. Would that be cheating? Yes, because he was not a mermaid. So if I turn myself into a mermaid, I would have to beat Michael Phelps on the same standard. Okay. All right. So if I want to be better than Michael Phelps with the swimming, I have to do it before I'm a mermaid. Ooh, okay, I'll go calm down now. Calm down. I'm going to calm down. I just realized I can totally like reverse engineer the science of swimming and get better at swimming. So I'm going to do that. Totally going to do that. Oh, fuck, damn, am I going to do that? I'm now looking at the physics of swimming and I'm going, okay, all right, great. Yep, all right, that's the physics. Got it. Fantastic. Done. I know Kung Fu. I know swimming. I know Kung Fu. One of my favorite Supernatural moments. I'm sitting here watching Supernatural. And God is an author, which just cracks me the fuck up. God turns out to be an author. And he's more focused on writing his book than actually doing anything. And I'm at that point. I get it. I'm sitting here watching him going, yep. I get it. Yep. You give them free will, let them burn. What's your excuse? You have free will. Did you forget? You have free will, dumb fucks. You did it to yourself. See, that's why he gave you free will. Literally, so he can wipe your hands clean and be like, you're on your own. You can't have free will and help at the same time. You can't. The minute you get free will, done deal. Now, if you think you don't have free will, that's your problem. That's your problem. That is how stupid people are. They're free, they have free will, and they'll sit there and claim that they didn't have a choice. And here's the other thing. I've been a slave on every fucking level with chains. And I'm looking at it going, you don't have a fucking clue what choice means. You have no fucking idea. You have no fucking stupid clue, dumbass. And I could teach you. I did. It's called Triadic Healing. And I'm looking. And here's the thing is I tried to do the whole market. I did the whole marketing thing. And everyone told me, oh, you got to get on their pain points. I did that and people laughed. People just didn't believe what I had. And I'm going, wow, I have to actually show them what I am in order to show them, hey, dumb fucks. When someone on my caliber comes in and says, I got the cure of mental illness, you don't laugh. Or are you that stupid? And then there's people who are so stupid they don't understand what caliber I'm on. That's the fun one. That one I'm like, oh, you're that stupid. Which is why I went, okay, 160. I started to notice that the people who understand me are 160 and higher. And I'm like, all right, you have to be as smart as Einstein to understand me. And I'm going, all right, so there's a start. There's a start. That's it. And then there's the people who think they're as smart as Einstein. Those are fun people. And then they get here and they'll talk to me. And they still don't follow. And I'm going, you don't have an IQ of 160. Or did you follow their IQ test? Isn't that cute? Yeah. So and here's the secret. Here's the secret with scale building is when you compare yourself up, you're gonna, it's a skill. What skill? Let's do this. What skill is Michael Phelps at? Oh, he's definitely a master. No fucking doubt about it. No, that man is like borderline philosopher. Now I can do that because I can recognize mastery skills. So there you go. Dumb fucks. Are you ready for this? Masters are in the Olympics. Philosophers are in the Olympics. Oh, there's some perspective for you. When it comes to thinking, I am a sage level in the Olympics. So think about, there you go. Here you go. This is the relativity that I've been trying to get to. Oh, this is a complex relativity. The dumb ones are not going to be able to follow this, but let's go with it. If you can follow this, you're smart. Because I'm going to give you 3 ratios here. Yes, this is nice. All right. My thinking skills and my knowledge skills are 2 levels above the Olympics level and the average Joe is apprentice in relativity to the sport. I'm going to walk you through this. Think about how well you can swim. Think about your swimming skill. Now compare that to Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps is a master philosopher. The question is, can Michael Phelps, is he swimming so well that he can reverse engineer from his own intuition? You can fuck believe he can. You don't get that good unless you can do that. That's why he's so good. It's because he's been able to reverse engineer swimming. He's that fucking good. Now, can he create something new with it? Oh, I bet he's close. If he hasn't already, I bet you he can. So now he's like toggling between philosopher, master swimmer. That's what a master looks like, dumbass. Now, look at your swimming skill. Now let's turn that over into thinking skills. In relative to your swimming, where do you think your thinking is? Hi, I'm Michael Phelps in thinking. That's how stupid you are. There it is. There it is. That's what I've been trying to tell you. That I've got a bunch of dumb fucks who can't even leave the kiddie pool telling me how smart they think they are when they have no idea relativity. I studied Mensa when I was 15 and they were idiots. Mensa people are dumb fucks. I looked at them and went, wow. And then when I did the research on what they're doing with their facility, cute. Okay. So that's like, wrap your head around it. Like if you're not even in Mensa and everyone's going, it's so normal to be in the kiddie pool of thinking. When a 4-year-old can outthink you, that's the clue. When a 4-year-old can outthink you, that's the clue. When a 6-year-old can prove how stupid you are, that's a clue. But most of you tell children to be quiet, so you probably aren't listening to them because they probably make you feel like an idiot, right? Because you are. Because they're thinking smarter than you now. But you won't let them talk. I couldn't figure this out. Why you kept silencing your children? I couldn't figure that out. Why would you silence your children? Because they show you how stupid you are. I remember it was around the time that I started to outthink my father that he started to abuse me. Really abuse me. When I started to, we all knew about my mom. So my mother was, we all expected us to be smarter than my mother. Good God, this is such a saving grace for me. This is it right here. This is the difference between me and the rest of the world. My mother knew she was uneducated. So we knew this is what an uneducated person looks like. But my mother treated me differently. She treated us all differently. She was humble. She was always trying to learn because she knew she was stupid. I haven't stopped learning. I just won't learn from you. And that's a big difference. And I'm sitting here looking at in relativity to and ratio. And this is the other thing is I can measure a person's intelligence based off of the language they're using, because a language is literally, this was hard. This was fucking hard. This was one of the hardest things to crack. Probably because I was a kid at the time. I would think I was 4 when I noticed it. I noticed there was a language difference between each and every educational level. I couldn't figure it out. It was so annoying to me. I could not figure out why people with higher education spoke differently. And I started to study it. This is why I got into linguistics, is because I wanted to understand why a person spoke differently when they were really stupid versus semi-stupid versus smart versus really smart. I couldn't figure that out. And I started to calculate and locate the difference between languages, between a person's education and their language. And I'm like, why is the language changing based upon, it's because of the ethics. It's because of the ethics. Because you are experiencing new emotions and you're going to require new vocabulary to articulate the emotions you're feeling. So then you can start to assess, based off of the language that a person has, how intelligent they really are. So when I speak to somebody, I can catalog your intelligence based off of your language. That's how I do it. Now, a person will sit there and tell me that they've got these degrees, but then they'll speak with the same language. Now, do you understand my world? So now I'm looking at all of these people with all of these different, this is interesting, because I noticed that the 5th perspectives speak a certain way, and 6 perspectives speak a certain way, but 6 perspectives sound a lot like the 2nd perspectives. That got really interesting to me. And then the 3rd and the 4ths have their own language, and the 1sts have their language. So do the 7ths and the 8ths and the 9ths. So I listen to keywords from every one of the languages. And I have one lady who's in my group right now. She's not studying triadic healing. She talks like a 6th, but sounds like a 3rd. She talks like a 6th, but sounds like a 3rd. And I'm looking at her going, the problem is the lowest perspective you are is dominant. Your lowest perspective is the dominant perspective. Your lowest perspective is the dominant perspective. So she is a 3rd perspective. Every now and then she slips into 2nd, which tells me her mother and father were 2nd perspectives. Which tells me that she had to literally get the education of a 2nd and a 3rd ethical perspective. So her ethical IQ is 2 and 3 years old. She's also refusing to learn, which puts her right at that 2nd ethical perspective. There she is. So she is ethically 2 years old. She's flouting the importance of opinion. She has absolutely attacked the concept of quality. And she is questioning the validity of logic. And she is 2 ethical years old. She started her conversation by boasting that she's an educator, as if that's going to convince me that she's anything better than a 2nd ethical, because she's too fucking arrogant to even learn. She's more concerned about being right, and she's talking too much. And she's only been there less than a week. So she's got a huge ego problem and a real anti-learning problem. Is she harming anyone? Just herself, which actually violates the ethics. Now I've got a problem. Now I've got a problem. She is causing harm to herself. So she is violating the ethics. And I'm looking at her going, how do I approach this? I don't know how to approach it. This is my riddle. This is the kind of fucking shit I have to figure out. So while you guys are all sitting there talking about which politician is doing what garbage, I'm trying to figure out what the ethical discipline should be for somebody who I am witnessing causing self-harm to themselves because they are that fucking stupid. how to even bridge the gap, if I should, what my responsibility is in it, or should I turn this over to hard knocks? How much should you learn on your own? I don't know. Euclid did not discover his geometry, and then go, you're going to have to figure it out for yourself. He shared it with you, dumb fucks. Should Euclid have shared his geometry? This is a really good ethical conundrum to discuss. Should Pythagoras had given you the information that he should have given you? Ooh, I have such an urge to suddenly delete all of my research. Should I give it to you? I can teach you how to learn, and then I need to just walk away. I don't know. This is the kind of shit I am debating with my life. I don't know. So I haven't helped this woman. I haven't said anything to her. I don't even think she wants help. She thinks she's fine. She found functionality and relief, so she thinks she's healed. She's really stupid. So I'm sitting back going, what do I do with this woman? Now, one of my persons has stepped in and said, this space is separate from the general population. And oh God, gorgeous words came out of her mouth. I am so proud of this woman. She's one of my students. And I won't say anything to what's going on in this group, but she came to me with it. And she's like, I didn't respond, but she's wrong. And I went, go on. What do you think? And she broke it down and she analyzed it and she laid it all out. And I said, yeah, you got it. And I said, the fact that you stopped and you thought before you responded is your first. That's wisdom. You're getting there. And I watched this woman. She came to me and she was just like everybody else. She was just like you. And it's only been 3 weeks, 3 fucking weeks. And I've watched it transform her. She's not stupid. This woman is not stupid. She has broken through her stupid and she is releasing her genius, and her genius is coming out. And I'm going, there you go, girl. You got it. And it was last week. It was last Tuesday at 11 o'clock. I actually have my Pando meeting, and I watched her. Oh, she took the floor and she had a lot to say. It was 2 weeks ago, not last week, 2 weeks ago. And it was the most like, holy fucking shit. It was so inspirational, and we couldn't believe it. We were just like, wow, just wow. The transformation is unimaginable. That's the 12 ethics. So fucking amazing to see her. And after that, I'm still watching her growth, and it's just a massive step back and just watching it unfold. And I've been watching all 3 of them. And what's funny is I got all 3 of them underneath me studying my work, and all 3 of them hit the epiphany at the same time. It was simultaneous, the same fucking day. Like at 11 o'clock, one went off, and about 2 hours later, and they all 3 went, oh my God. And I went, you're going through it. You're going through it. You're in it. And it's beautiful to watch it unfold, and how it's absolutely beautiful. What's going to be interesting is when they surpass their masters, and it's starting to happen, where they're starting to surpass their masters, and they're starting to go, wow, you're an idiot. And it's like, that's starting to happen. And I'm going, yeah. And and here's the thing is, you don't find out how stupid someone is until you study underneath them and surpass them. But if you're not surpassing an idiot, oh, honey. And that's a lot of people aren't surpassing the stupid ones. You've got really stupid people teaching, and they're so bad at teaching. You're not even, why haven't you surpassed your teacher? I surpassed Plato how long ago did I surpass Plato? A year ago? His curriculum ends at biology. I'm beyond biology. And I went, wow, I am officially further along in the ethical progression. Further along. I think that's the first time I found the right words. It's not derogatory, because it's not high, it's not above, it's further along. They're just further along in the skill development. And it's literally your skill development. But it's a very specific kind of skill development. And it's Arcana. Yeah, it's your Arcana skill development. That's it. Your Arcana skill development. And I can say that now. It's your philosophy is Arcana. But no one's studying philosophy. No one's studying logic. So it's fascinating to see how this whole thing is unfolding. And I'm at a point. Oh, I'm getting tired. I can feel every chemical movement in my brain. I can feel the juice moving in my brain. And sometimes it's just heat. Oh. All right. So, it's so funny. Every time, like, I would watch Star Trek, and you remember the big brain people? I'm watching them, and I'm like, I don't want it to be like that. I don't want to have a brain like that. I don't want it to have a brain like that. But it's interesting. Oh my God, because we're going to have shrunken heads. Because if you look at the Neanderthals, their brains were really big. And the gorillas, they had really big brains. And then the Neanderthal, and then the human. And I'm going, oh, we're getting smaller brains. Oh, it's integrating. Oh, that makes sense now. We're integrating the brain. That makes sense. I was trying to figure that out. See, it was illogical. I'm like, what? What? You don't grow the brain, you dipshits. You integrate it. That's growth. Growth is integration. Growth is integration. So imagine you have a seed. Come on, do the math. Imagine you have a sperm. Do the math. That's called integrated. So the brain is integrated. That's why it's shrinking when you're smart. You're integrating your brain. Integration is growth. So there's two stages of growth. There's the germination from the tree out of the seed. That's called the construction. But the deconstruction is the growth. The deconstruction is the growth. How do you think the whole goddamn tree got into the apple seed? You need integration mathematics for that. You're not going to be able to figure it out without integration mathematics. And that is another really fancy word of saying logic. My daughter just like giggled. It's really funny. It's like I'm going to take a break. I'm going to take a break. And then at 11, I'm going to do my meeting. And then I will be back on this, but I need to take a break. I need to eat. I need to think. I'm going to draw. That way I cannot think. I'm going to draw. Because the only time I don't think is when I draw. It's the only time I can really shut my brain off. I'm almost afraid to learn how to. Oh, I'm so excited about Arcana. I'm drawing a rainbow that's pink and yellow. And I'm thinking things like, will this rainbow be sentient? Of course it'll be sentient. Magic is sentient. Oh. Okay. All right. I like my Care Bear concept. I believe we're all going to be Care Bears. We are going to be Care Bears. That's really it. Is I know. I don't believe. I know we're magic. That's the difference. No knowledge. What is belief? Where does it come from? What is the word? Belief etymology. Belefan. Huh. Is that Irish? No, it says Old English. Gilubin. To believe. Leof. Liefen. Be liefen. To allow. To allow. Isn't that fascinating? Allow to know. This is beautiful. This is actually very, very, this is something. This is accurate. That logically adds up. I can't prove it yet, but I can feel this, and this feels truth. Some say that the word belief can also be broken down into two words, be and leaf. Be comes from the word being, which means a state of existence, while leaf comes from the Indo-European word luv, which means love. In love. Belief means in love, which means in truth. When combined, these words could mean to be in love with. Yes. That makes so much more sense. Beliefs are the core of who we are. This is by Ty Bennett, speaker, author, entrepreneur. The second word leaf comes from the Indo-European word lub, which means love. So when you put that together, it changes the entire idea of the word belief. Many years ago, I read a book by John Milton Fogg, which gave me a tremendous insight into the word belief. When you study the root of the word belief, you gain greater understanding of its depth and meaning. This is why smart people need to rule the world, because dumb ones are really stupid. When you study the root of the word belief, you gain greater understanding of its depth and meaning. The true definition of belief will teach you why our beliefs are so powerful. And that is how you know it's truth, is the word why is present. So the word belief comes from two words, be and leaf, L-I-E-F. Be comes from being, which is a state of existence. To be is to live. The second word, leaf, comes from the Indo-European word luv, L-E-U-B-H. Now, if I were to speak that in Irish, it would be luv. L-E-B-U-H is luv in French, or I'm sorry, in Gaelic. I was thinking Gaelic, and then it switched it over, and then I said French. So I needed to, so love, luv, which means love. So when you put that together, it changes the entire idea of the word belief. Belief means to be in love with. Belief doesn't mean you have to know for a fact. All you have to do is love it. Oh, this is gorgeous. Ty Bennett, beautiful mind. Now that's a fucking smart man. That's what smart looks like. That is what smart looks like. Wow, that is, I am, oh yes. Who is this person? Ty Bennett. Oh, his work matches my work. Yep, this man knows the same shit I know. Yeah, he's off with some things, though. It just means he's not further along as I am. He's hitting on the key points. Yeah, he goes on about leadership. Yeah, I gotta research him. His work. So I don't know where he is yet in relativity to my work, but he's hitting the same points that I hit. Almost no one hits the same points I hit. So when someone hits the same points I hit, it gets my attention. But almost no one hits my points. But he's got 3 of them here. He's got linguistics, storytelling, and leadership. And I'm going, storytelling. He knows what I know. Cultivation, connection, cultivating connection. Those are my words. And strengthening engagement. He knows my shit. He's done the same work I'm doing. But why isn't he as far along? Because he didn't break the code on the evolution. He just found the right path, but he hasn't figured out the code yet. Huh? Of course. Wow, it's refreshing to see my work. Now, so this is where I say, just study Ty Bennett. Study Ty Bennett. He's the bridge. This is what I've been needing. So I can say to you, look at Ty Bennett's work. Now I am about X, and I haven't figured out the ratio yet. I got to sit down and study him. But yeah, so my work is a continuation. So there's Ty Bennett, and then there's my work. But I can't break down my work. I got to get the relativity. This is going to be so much easier. Now he goes into inspiration. I don't do inspiration. I may do. I don't do inspiration. You need to inspire yourself. Yeah, I need to like bio this man about. He went to MIT. He did what I did with business. He did a lot of running around with business, studying business. Public speaker. No, I want to know his educational path. No, it's almost never, I never find anyone like me. Not even close. This is the close I have found anyone near me. And I'm going, he's got some of the key points. He doesn't have all of them. But he's on the right path. That is exciting. I am very, very excited. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so excited. That has me really, really fucking excited. Oh, that's a lot of that is like, that's exciting. That is so fucking exciting. All right, now to find a stepping stone that you guys understand is a big deal for me. Like this is the first stepping stone where I can put it down and say, he's one of the stepping stones on my Triadic healing. And that's it. That's it. But I can't tell where he is. He's early on. He's got the cultivation, so he's got power economics figured out. So I would say he's at least 9th ethical perspective. He's got the power economics figured out. He had the leadership figured out, which again points to the 9th ethical perspective. Ty Bennett's a 9th ethic. He's in the 10th ethic. He's in the 10th ethic. That's what it looks like. If you're not thinking like Ty Bennett, you're not even at the 10th. That's what I'm trying to say to you. That's what I'm trying to say. He's focusing on leadership. He's focusing on power, human connection, and cultivation. That reeks of 7th, 8th, 9th ethic. He's talking about storytelling. That's interesting. Storytelling. Which again puts you at the 7th, 8th, and 9th ethic. Oh no, that man is a 10th ethic. Finally. Now I can say it to you guys. Ty Bennett is a 10th ethic. That's it. That's a fantastic comparison. So now I'm looking at you guys going, yeah, you guys have no fucking clue. Ty Bennett's a 10th ethic. He's talking about the same material that I was at the 7th, 8th, and 9th ethic. It looks like he finished the 9th and he put together power economics. He's got the preliminary of power economics started. You have to go through it a second time to get the next level. He hasn't done that yet. He has not done that yet. When you do it the second time around, so he's in the eye of I. So he is in the first round, the eye of I at the 10th ethic. Yeah. He's taught, leadership. So if he had made it to the 12th, he'd be talking constant, and he also has linguistics in there. Oh no, he's got this shit down. No, he's got this shit down. He's going to start talking about forgiveness later. When he reaches for forgiveness, I'm going to use him as a model. I'm going to point and say, that's where he's at. That's where he's at. Because when he hits forgiveness, that's when he makes it into the 12th. You're going to hear the way he talks about forgiveness, and I'm going to look at him and say, that's what the 12th sounds like. But he's not there yet because he's only talking about leadership and cultivation. And I'm going, that's 9th. That's 10th. He's only 5 ethical perspectives ahead of you. And he sounds like that. So he was able to look at the word belief and go, that's not the right word. So he's already correcting your words because you're stupid. A person is stupid when they think they're smart. And that's it right there. If you have to compare your brain to somebody dumber than you to think you're smart, you're stupid. So I'm sitting here going, are you smarter than Ty Bennett? Are you ethically smarter than Ty Bennett? Because he figured out belief. He figured out belief. Now I want to look at the Irish word love. I know it's not because I've already looked at the Irish word for love. It's not luv. It's gra, yeah. So Indo-European. What's Indo? Proto-Indo-European root. Look, okay, so here's what's bothering me. The words Proto-Indo-European root, luv, that is Proto-Indo-European root is an entire group of like multiple languages. Which languages are you pulling from? Sanskrit, Latin, luv is tied to libido. But what language is this? Proto-Indo-European is not a language. It's an accumulation. Oh, here, okay, there you go. German. See, this is what I mean by sloppy language. They're saying Proto-Indo-European, and I'm going, no, it's Proto-Germanic, you dumb fucks. Proto-Germanic. So I found a logical fallacy in Google with their goddamn searching because you dumb fucks are the ones who built it. Do you understand what I'm saying yet? You're so stupid that you're actually posting wrong information on the internet and then you're using it to try and prove yourself right later. You're stupid. It's not Proto-European, it's Proto-Germanic. Because I know that Proto-Indo-European means all of the Western fucking language. Because I've studied Proto-Indo-European language. It's called PIE, P-I-E. And I went through all of them up until I got to the Slavic. That's when I stopped because I got distracted by Rome and how much of an asshole they were. So I did not study Slavic languages. I did not study Indian languages. And then I didn't even get into Asian because they are not Proto-Indo-European languages. I studied 3/4 of Proto-Indo-European language. So I know when I see Proto-Indo-European, like that doesn't even make sense because Proto-Indo-European language is literally every fucking language in Europe. So which one? Because French is not German. But here they actually have the right word. It's Germanic. Now to get this, I had to fish. I had to go to Babbel.com. I love Babbel.com. Very familiar with that place. So how do I say I love you in different languages? French, je t'aime. Spanish, te quiero. German, ich liebe. There it is. Ich liebe. Croatian is volum. Italian is ti amo. Et tu amo is Portuguese. Swedish is jako skadik. And Romanian, I cannot pronounce that language. Now let's look at German because that's ich liebe. Now, I can tell you right now, if it's Proto-Indo-European, the dumb fucks probably meant Proto-Germanic. So I want the Proto-Germanic word for love is Luva. L-E-U-B-A. There it is. From Middle High German, Liebe, which means joy, affection, kindliness. This is how you do shit. L-E-U-B-A. From Middle High German. You guys are already fucking up your own charts. You're going to have to go through and correct all of your misinformation on the internet once you become geniuses again. You're going to see all your logical fallacies on the internet, and you're going to go, oh, wow. Wow, did we make a mess of it? Mm-hmm. So Middle High German, Liebe, L-E-U-B-E. I-E-B-E, which means joy, affection, and kindness. So you dumb fucks are so stupid that you couldn't even put the word believe into the dictionary right. Stupid fucks. Kindliness. Now, I was trained by my masters how to cite accurate data. It was part of my training. How to tell accurate data from tampered data, from logically false data. This was part of my training. I went through it for 5 years. Accurate data, tampered with data, and accurate data. And you use mathematical consistency, a pattern of 4, in order to pull it off with logic. So you have to find 4 patterns plus logic in order to validate. Validate. This is how you vet for knowledge, dipshits. Yeah, I'm going to be fucking pissed for a long time because Lord of the Flies here. So yeah. So joy, affection, kindliness is leave, which is Proto-Germanic. Now this is Middle High German, which means this isn't the root of the word. Proto-Indo-European, Louvre, to enjoy, to long for. See, again, that doesn't even make sense, you stupid fucks. Proto-Germanic is L-E-U-B-A and L-E-U-B-O for love, Luvo. But again, this is Middle High German. So we want to go to, well, I did write Proto-Germanic, and you stupid fucks brought me Middle High German instead. Proto-Germanic was around the 10th century. High Germanic was around the 14th and 15th century. So let's look up L-E-U-B-A. I might have to go to German's internet for this, which I've done with about a lot of other stuff. So leaf means love. There it is. Leaf means love. So believe means to be in love. But you're so stupid you actually forgot what the word means. And then you dumb fucks wrote the wrong definition in the internet. And you're all Googling the wrong definition because you're that stupid. So when I ask people what they think belief means, because I'm going to, what do you think belief means? They're going to Google it and say, oh, are you that stupid? Because as soon as you realize that you can't trust the internet. So now here's the question. How do you know what's truth if you can't trust the internet? I know the answer to this because I studied logic. It's called logic. So you can use logic to purify truth because you can't rely on the internet anymore. You're fucked. That's your flaw. You keep relying on the internet for your facts, as if that's not written by a human who makes mistakes. I first found the internet's flaw when I was studying Olaf Tryggvason. There are 2 Olaf Tryggvasons. Actually, there's only one, but there are 2 Saint Olafs. There is Olaf Tryggvason, who was a real fucking asshole, and he died in 995 AD. But then there is Saint Olaf. Now, Saint Olaf died around the 1100s. And when you study Wikipedia and you get all of their sources, you find out that there's Olaf Tryggvason and Saint Olaf. But some dipshit decided that Olaf Tryggvason should be christened Saint Olaf. So now you've got 2 Saint Olafs. And a lot of people think that they're the same person, except I know that Olaf Tryggvason died in 995 CE in a very specific battle in Norway, and he was never seen of again. Because he's the villain in my book. So I'm sitting here going, interesting, if Olaf Tryggvason died in 995 CE, then how the fuck can he be St. Olaf in the year 1100? Now, St. Olaf is the one who put together the King's Road in Norway in the 1100s. So I'm looking at it going, okay, so St. Olaf is the one who created the King's Highway, and he was also in a monastery, which didn't even exist when Olaf Tryggvason decided to put churches inside Norway like a ruthless piece of shit Christian like they do. He literally had a pile of children's hands that he cut off if parents didn't agree to be Christian. That's Christianity for you. And so they created, well, they came up with a story that the T for Thor and Mjolnir was a cross. So they could go, no, look, I'm a Christian. See, it's a cross. When it was really a T for Thor or an actual hammer for Mjolnir. But people were so stupid that he believed them. So then it became a trend to wear T for Thor or Mjolnir, to sit there and show, look, I'm a Christian. And that is how the crucifix came into being. From Christian terrorism on Thor worshipers. That is why you have a crucifix today. So when I learned all of this, I went, fascinating. All right. I remember this one time in my studies. This was like the highlight of my studies. I got to borrow a book from the library that was over 200 years old. And I had to go through permissions to get this book because it was a 200-year-old book. Now, I owned like 500 and 800-year-old books, so it's not about. The oldest book I had was from the 1400s. It was not a Gutenberg Bible, but it was like around that same time period when they started to mass produce Bibles. Was it even in English? No, it wasn't even in English because Tybalt hadn't even translated the Bible yet. So I had a lot of Latin Bibles from the 1400s, right after they made the printing press. So I had a lot of Bibles. So that's the oldest book I had, was like from 1400s. So to say that this book was 200 years old, for me, that's like big fucking deal. But it was like the only copy of its kind. And it was an entire history on Olaf Tryggvason. So I had it for about 3 weeks. And oh my God, it was like the most precious thing I've ever held in my hands. Oh my God, was it? Wow. And the other thing is, you're not allowed any other book. Like, this is the only book you get. And it's like guards. Guards did not show up, but it gave you the feeling like no damage could come to this book. So I read the life of Olaf Tryggvason. And that was done in the 1700s. And that's where I have my Dolor and Shadow. So the world is a different place when you're reading from books from that time period. You get to see, and like I said, when you're studying data, you get to learn that you have to learn the difference between accurate data, tampered data, and logical data. And there's a mathematical pattern that you're supposed to look for to identify when you have logical data versus tampered data versus accurate data. So dumb fucks, most of the stuff you're looking up online is tampered data. Or it's just nonsense. And you guys can't even tell the difference between the nonsense and the tampered data. And the word belief is a great example of this. The word belief is exactly that. It is an example of garbage data. How many times have you looked up the word belief and you took it? So the sooner you learn how to be stupid, the sooner you learn that you are stupid, the sooner you can embrace being a student. Because that's really what it comes down to. This was the lesson I had to learn, is you're stupid. I didn't have a problem being stupid. I knew I was stupid. I knew it. I didn't have a problem with it. I was looking to cure my problem. I just wanted to be smarter than my abusers. The problem is, one of my abusers was a fucking genius. One of my abusers was a fucking unethical genius. And I had to figure out how to be smarter than that. And I thought, if you're so smart, then why can't you? If you're so smart, then why can't you outsmart your abusers? Because they're stupid. Look at how smart your abusers are. And you fell for it. That's the real bitter truth. I have people sitting here bashing their exes. Oh, they're such a narcissist. They abused me for 10 years. Yeah, and you fell for it. And you're still falling for it. So how smart are you? Think about how stupid they are, and you're dumber because you fell for it. And you're stupider than your abusers until you figure out how to fix yourself. But if you're so stupid, how are you going to do that? I'm sure you've got it all under control. You've got the internet. So I've got Lord of the Flies. I've got Wonderland. And I think that's it. I think that's really what's bothering me is I walked into Lord of the Flies and Wonderland. And I'm watching you dipshits run around in a circle in the ocean to get dry. And I walked away and I found Lord of the Flies happening. And I'm going, okay, so you've got Lord of the Flies happening in broad daylight, and you've got Wonderland happening, and you're all walking around telling me how smart you all think you are. I am not giving you my dragons. I am not giving you my dragons. Fuck that shit. I suddenly want pancakes. Why do I suddenly want pancakes? Lizzie, why do I want pancakes? She goes, I don't know. She's very sweet. She's very, very shy. You want croissants? She's very, very sweet. It cracks me up how she's invisible. She is. She's like, she won't come on camera. And very, very, hi. It's awkward that I'm looking at you.
Yeah, it's like staring me down.
Staring you down. My children play Minecraft. A lot. And I can't look at it without thinking about King's Quest. That's going to take place because I wished for it. I sat there so many times in the 80s. I wish King's Quest were real. Like I said, it's going to get weird. And I'm like, all right, I manifested that shit. All right. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So I'm watching it. I remember I got to the fourth one. Oh my God, I love the fourth one. Yep. Yep. Oh, I'm Celeste Bella Bethabel. God, I cannot wait. If you are not ethical, magical creatures will not come around. That's why they've been gone. Which is why the Bible talks about them being around before the flood. That explains that now. I've been looking for that. I've been trying to figure out what happened. That would be it. I believe that's the first time we wrote the code properly when we said the words, yeah, if you're not ethical, you don't get the magic. That was actually a very wise, yes. Only the ethical get the magic. Only the ethical get the magic. Yeah. Only the ethical get the magic. So now is the question, at what age should you get the magic? How ethical do you have to be before you get the ethic? Well, I was 4 playing around with manifestation. So just to give you an idea. Only the ethical get the magic. The more magic you get, the more ethical you are. Now, here's what I'm thinking. You're a changeling. You have the ability to change into whatever the fuck you want to change into. You want to change into a dragon. Okay. So now I was 4 and I had this power. Let's say for a minute you end up with a 4-year-old who's now a 45th ethical perspective. And they decide to turn into a dragon. It'll be equal. It'll be equal. But at 45, I can see it happening. I can't do it yet. See, this is the mistake I made at 42. I could see it at 42, but I couldn't do it until 44. So 44 is when manifestation is there, not 42. And I mean manifestation is there as in it happens in the same minute. So 42 is when you can see how manifestation works. 44 is when you can do it consciously. You have to do it consciously. Oh my God, I am my intuition. Oh, I am pure logic. I am pure love. Yes, that is logical. Okay. That makes sense. Interesting. Fascinating. The 45th is so fascinating. It's really just fascinating. I'm like, yes. So when you're actually able to do it consciously, which is mastery, it's the ability to pull it out. I can do this. I can break this down. When you reverse engineer the comprehension into being, that is when you become a master of manifestation. So you don't get to be a master of manifestation. There you go. So now we have another point of relativity for your education. I am a master manifester now, so that I manifest and poof, I get. But I'm like right on the cusp. I am now able to reverse engineer it. Now I get to master the skill of reverse engineering it. Perspective for you. I was learning the proficiency of it. Sixth ethical perspective is when I became a tradesman. Well, foundationals 1 to 5 is apprentice level. There's some perspective for you. Let's talk about your manifestation. We're going to use your manifestation. We're going to use your manifestation as an understanding or a metric. That's what I've been trying to find. I've been looking for a metric for you to always be able to compare your skill levels to X. You need a metric. You haven't had one, which is why you don't know how stupid you are. So I have to define a metric, excuse me, for you to follow in order to understand it. Manifestation, that's going to be the metric. If you can't do manifestation, you're a foundational. You are 1 through 5. If you can do it, if you are consciously aware of trying to do it, you are officially a tradesman. You are a 6th perspective in manifestation. You just started the tradesman. Now, every now and then you get somebody who says, oh, I manifested this. You did it once. Very good. Now do it every time, 100% of the time, instantly. So before you flap off your stupid mouth claiming that you can manifest, you do it 100% of the time, every time, instantly. That's when you're a master. Not even. That's when you're proficient at it. When all of your wishes always come true. But we're not done yet. Now, you reverse engineer the entire comprehension of how you manifest logically. Can you do it? Can you do it? I couldn't do it until I reached the 44th ethic. Now, I get the fun task of mastering. Just because I entered the master level doesn't mean I'm a master. I am just mastering now manifestation, which means I have to practice, casting the wish in a logical order so that it doesn't violate any of the logic so that it immediately comes to me. In order for that, I have to have purified logic. That way there's no obstruction. So that I cast it and then it instantly comes true in now. So that present and future are happening at the same place. so that when I say I want, I get every single time. But in order for it to be here, I have to make sure that all of the preliminary logical work is in place in order for that to take place. I have to make sure that I literally manifest something that's logical, which means I have to be able to understand the logical code of every single thing that takes place. Do you understand now? There it is. And I'm just starting to master manifestation. Up until now, I've just been a tradesman. Most of you haven't even started the tradesman skill. So you're over here playing with your crayons, with your chakra stones, and you just discovered manifestation, telling me how educated you are. You're 6 fucking years old. You're an idiot. Congratulations, you have filled your head with 40 years of slosh. It's not real knowledge. It's not wisdom. You looked up the wrong word, belief. So now you get to ask the question that I asked when I was 12 and 8 and 4. If you got this wrong, what else did you fuck morons get wrong? Because that's the question that I had asked every time I found out that they were so wrong, they were putting logical fallacy inside my head. So then I had to reverse engineer their bullshit, find out where it was wrong, correct it, and then go along the correct path. And then validate it 4 different ways to prove that the conclusion I had was correct. And I was doing that at 12. You haven't been checking anyone's work, have you? Have you checked anybody's work? Or have you just assumed that they're telling you the truth? Well, how stupid are you? Because I figured it out when I was 4, 8, and 12, when I finally told them, you're not qualified to teach me, you're making too many logical errors. So then I went out and I did my own work. I studied and I went, oh, yeah, no, they're not qualified to teach me. So, welcome to real school. Welcome to real education and knowledge. Now, rule number 1 here is we don't teach you. We just teach you how to learn. The very first rule of learning how to learn is knowing how stupid you are. Yeah. Yep. Knowing how stupid you are. That's a class. Knowing how stupid you are. It is a class I had to take. It's brutal. You can tell why most people don't want to learn. You can tell why the Roman Empire didn't learn. They were too egotistical. So either you learn or you're an ego dick. Are you an ego dick? I'm going to keep that word. That's going to become the word for my vocabulary. Are you an ego dick? I have no tolerance for ego dicks. Are you an ego dick? So there you go. There you go. Are you an ego dick? 10 signs you are an ego dick. Oh, I love that. Are you an ego dick? Or you're a student? But the word student implies that you're not going to be a student, so now we call them life learners or just philosophers, your choice. I'm going to call them discipulus. Do you know why I'm going to call them discipulus? Because first of all, it's Greek, and it's the truest word. It is the word, discipulus. I was a discipulus for 30 fucking years, and I am still a discipulus. You are my discipuli. Discipulus is discipline. Discipline masters. Disciplined masters. When you are disciplined, then you learn. Because you're discipulus. So you are discipliners because you're being disciplined. Hence, academic discipline. You really need to look up the word discipline, which is actually discipulus and discipuli, which means follower of a philosopher. And then from that word, we get disciples, which is why I'm telling you that Christ was a philosopher. Discipulus. See, now, If Christ had built a school, see, he did. He built a school. But then he went, why did you build a school? He had an outdoor forum school where he just told parables like Aesop's fables all over the place. And then there's the dipshits who I say, Aesop was a philosopher. And then I've got these dumb fucks going, no, he wasn't. He was a slave. So was I, dipshits. Really stupid. So, thank you, Daniel. The mouse you sent me.
No problem.
All right, try and find one that's less than 30, please.
All right.
But I'm definitely going to bookmark this one for later, okay? I like the double mouse pad.
Double mouse.
Though that it comes to the mouse pad also.
Oh, that's for charging it.
Oh, this is a nice one.
It also plugs in directly.
Oh, it's a
you can
large
have
cable.
direct connection, and you can charge it that way if you want.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. I think that's the one Adam uses.
All right, yeah. Okay. I have a meeting here soon. Really hate it when people put me on their subscribe list without my permission. Unethical pricks. All right, so yeah. Wait, no. Am I at 10:58? Oh, I gotta go now. All right. So I'm gonna jump over to my meeting. I never took a break, but that's all right. So I'm gonna jump over to my meeting and I will be back after lunch and all that jazz. So thank you so much. And may the truth find you.